Hello.
Hello.
Make sure I get the right screen.
So ready for this.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
Yay.
Hang on, you guys are low. There we go.
Oh.
Turn that off.
Fancy new screen. Oh, look at
Look
this.
at this. It's so
Look at us.
cool.
Stuff.
Excellent job. Excellent job.
Oh, beautiful.
Amber found the colors. Oh.
I love it. And purple is my favorite color,
Perfect.
so it's a great choice.
I should change my light.
Like Sarah likes purple. I can get away with this. Slide on over.
Best
There we
color.
are.
Best color. So to get started, very excited. Oh, look, I like the purple light. I like it. Okay. Hello, friends. Welcome to GutPunchRP, a tabletop role-playing games stream channel focused on inclusivity in gaming spaces and charity. You can type !donate into the chat to get a link to our ongoing Tiltify event for I Need Diverse Games. Type !charity to learn more about them and all they do. Each month, we give away lovely prizes to random donors, just so you are aware, because this is a charity stream. The money that comes in from bits and subs goes right back to the channel. We are sponsored by tabletoploot.com. You can type !tabletoploot for a link. Be sure to use the code GutPunchRP to save 15% off at checkout. Also, at the break, we will be giving away super awesome prizes. And tonight, it is a beautiful dice bag from Vic Crafts. Absolutely wonderful, modeled here by Jess. Beautiful, beautiful. So be sure to stick around through the break for a chance to win that. If you would like to support us in a non-monetary way, feel free to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We link all the videos and linking and liking all the videos and tweets and retweeting our Go Live tweets really does help the channel, and we greatly appreciate it every time. If this is your first time at the channel, welcome! You've joined us for Darkness Rising, a brand new Fantasy 5e D&D campaign that we will be playing every other Friday starting tonight. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Could we pause just for a second? Because Vic
Yeah.
Crafts is in the chat. Vic
Yeah.
Crafts is the person
In
who
the chat.
made the thing. And by the way,
Welcome.
this is my personal, mine. You get the one that hasn't had me pawing all over it.
A fresh one, if you
get a
will.
fresh one, if you will. And also, two members of our cast cannot be here for this evening. So Rec and D, it's the Riddler, will not be here tonight, but they will be joining us in the next episode.
Yes.
So now.
We miss them. Okay. Welcome to the continent of Goshal, a large landmass continent surrounded by water made up of 10 separate countries. You have Andis, a barren wasteland of a desert to the far west, Eridor, the marshlands to the north, Brestor, the mysterious, endless, icy wasteland to the south, Arendalin, hidden deep within the earth, Eurasia, home of the oldest forests and the sacred Evertree, Ezrona, the fertile eastern farmlands, Helden, the newest country fresh out of a civil war, breaking free from Rilla, Neria, the forsaken, shattered isles in the far north, and Rilla, the neutral diplomatic country mourning the loss of its northern half, and lastly, Strord, the proud mountain range and home to the highest peaks of the continent. Long have these countries lay in both peace and war, with its great history lost long ago to a terrible apocalypse, barely remembered. The world was left scarred and broken. The continent still shows its resilience and thrives despite all that it has lost. Love and intrigue and betrayal still reign supreme however, but perhaps some heroes can remind everyone that not all hope is lost. But something stirs in the shadows. The echoes of the past are finally returning to the ears of the living, and the present is not prepared for what it will hear. We join our travelers as they enter into a small town in Rilla called Ensburg. The rain pelts down from the dark gray-black clouds from overhead. It is nearly dinner time, and your stomachs are unafraid of reminding you that. The town itself is nothing more than a grandiose village with meager scattering of village buildings, mostly homes lining its single circular street. All the homes are thatch-roofed and dimly lit, and a low rumble of thunder echoes in the night. As you look around, there are few to no travelers out in this storm, though you are constantly being watched from the locals in their windows. Who would like to start? Who's coming into town first?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would be like walking into town on foot, hood up.
Okay.
It's
Anything noticeable that... Because...
I am large. I'm like, 6'1". If the hood was not up, you would see like two long swords across my back, and I'm like dressed in very like hoplite-like armor,
Okay.
arms and legs exposed, but like well covered. And I would be
Okay.
heading or looking for the inn.
Okay. It's fairly... it's just a big old circle with buildings lining the inner circle and the outer circle. So it's fairly easy to navigate as you wander up towards a large building. It is the only two-story building that is here in this small town. And it has a sign out front with a crescent moon carved into it, with a mug of ale and a bed on its sign. Sitting outside is an elderly woman sitting on a rocking chair.
Kind of like nod to her. Ma'am, what's the name of the inn, please?
Oh, this is the Silver Moon Inn, dear. You are going to catch your death of cold out here in the storm. Come in. We'll fix you right up. We've got mug of ale and fresh meat on the fire.
Thank you, ma'am. I'd be very happy with that. Kind
Of course. Please
follow her
come.
in.
Oh, she doesn't get up, but she will gesture you to the front door.
And then push on in.
All right. Despite the rural exterior of the town, the tavern is very lavish. But the first thing that assaults you as you enter is the smell of food. And it smells incredible. Meats cured and seared to perfection, fresh vegetables, roasting on spits, as well as soaking in the broth from the farms located around the small town. The scent of honeyed bread rolls mixes and mingles with the other scents, adding a hint of sweetness to the air. Music sounds from the small band of bards playing on a slightly raised stage. 3 of them working together to create a pleasant area for you.
All right. I would sort of like, in the doorway, sort of shake off the cloak and take the hood down, and like, make contact with the barkeep, but take a sort of shaded table, something in a corner, but like indicate that I want something at their leisure.
Okay. A big burly man standing behind the counter, and he is currently assisting a couple that is sitting at the bar, as well as a dwarf, and he just kind of nods, like, one moment. Oh.
So then I would just sit down and like take stock of everyone that's in there, though, and just like start listening, see what I could hear.
Okay. All right. Who's coming in next? Nose goes.
All right. So I assume that Quinn Rathmore would be arriving probably by carriage. Stepping out, you see a young, seemingly well-off young woman, say about 26, human, about 5'7", has shoulder-length blonde hair. She's wearing a double-breasted coat that is fitted through the torso, flares out at the hips, but then has a detachable shoulder kind of collar to it. Has a military style. It's a powder blue jacket. She has navy riding trousers that also have the double-breasted high waist. A simple yet elegant shirt, blouse underneath with a matching vest to her powder blue jacket, nice riding pants. Has a elaborate leather satchel that drapes across the shoulder, and I believe she would be approaching the inn as well.
As you approach the inn, you two see that old woman.
Do I recognize her?
You do not recognize her. She kind of like, oh, well, what on earth could possibly have brought such a fine young lady to our small town? Please step in from out of the rain. Come under the cover here.
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm supposed to meet someone under official, and she kind of looks to the side, and then official academy business?
Academy business. Wow. A learned woman you are then. Most impressive. Truly a sight for these poor old weary eyes.
Well, I mean, I would think that being this close to Rilla, you would see plenty of...
Oh, we tend to keep to our own out here in Ensburg. We don't trouble ourselves with the worries of the capital here.
Very well. I believe it does smell lovely. I would like to...
Yes, please come in, dear, come in.
You.
And she kind of like hobbles over to the door and opens it to let you in. And as soon as the door opens, you are assaulted with that fragrance of just delectable foods. And you come in, and the band is very... They're playing a dance tune now. There's a couple dancing, but it's small, but welcoming, if you will.
Do I see anyone that I recognize, or maybe not recognize, but that I am supposed to meet with here?
Go ahead and roll an investigation since you're looking for something specific.
All right. Let me pull some stats up.
Woo!
Roll.
First roll of the game. I can't wait.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love
vibe
this.
right here.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I'm here for this already.
I'm
gonna do great.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would 13.
13? Okay. Peering around, there doesn't seem to be anyone that you've heard or have seen that you really sort of recognize. There is a hooded figure sort of hanging out to the side that doesn't seem to be trying to draw too much attention, but everyone else is fairly open. The couple that is dancing, they're an elven couple, man and woman, dressed in nicer clothes compared to like what the old woman was wearing. There's a dwarf with his back to you sitting at the bar. There's a very large humanoid looking man behind the counter. He's got a rough beard, long hair that comes down to just about his chin, that's curly. He's got a very clean apron wrapped around his waist, as well as a white shirt with sleeves rolled up. And he is currently working on pouring the dwarf another drink.
Well, then I suppose I would go up to the bar and be like, is this self-seating here?
Yeah, fine. Wherever you can find a seat, go for it.
And do you have any specials?
We do have specials. I have to find it. There we go. If you're really interested, we've got the endless mug. It's a thing owner does. It's a 1 gold piece, and you get bed for the night, as much drink as you want, and meals included.
For 1 gold? Just 1
yeah,
gold,
for one,
I get all of that.
Yep, 1 gold.
Very well, that sounds like a delightful deal. And then
Wonderful.
She slaps 2 golds onto the to the counter.
Do you have a companion with you?
No, I do not, but is it not customary to tip 100%?
Look, gift horse in the mouth, and he very quickly pockets that. And what can I get for you? We've got wine, ale, beer, some fruit juices that just came in from the farms. What do you want?
Could I get wine? And some of that fruit juice sounds delightful.
Oh, yeah, sure. And were you hoping for some food? We got some grilled beef, roasted sweet potato, cornbread, or, not to toot my own horn or anything, but
you should toot away, sir.
I make a pretty mean beef stew.
Then I would love some beef stew.
Well,
and a side of that cornbread sounds delightful.
Can do. I'll come find you. Give me a moment. And he goes to get you your wine and your juice. And he then hands them to you and moves from around the bar to go and see the hooded figure to the side. Welcome to the Silver Moon. What can I get for you?
I sort of shake back my long red hair and I'm just like, what do you got?
Well, we've got a endless mug. Comes with a bed. It's 1 gold. You get all the drinks for an endless mug of ale plus dinner included.
Yes, say no more. I'll take that and I'll flip him a gold and be like, strong ale and a little bit of everything you have.
Right away. And he will go and then begin to prepare your meals. All right, who's next?
I guess I'll go. Goes. All right, so then also walking into town on foot would be a tall woman, somewhere between like 6.5, 7 feet tall. She's would have her hood up for now, but she's a half-orc woman. Olive green skin, some tusks protruding from her lower lip. Pretty broad shoulders, looks to be pretty strong. Her armor, it makes her presence known as it kind of clinks as she walks down the street. And she is also looking for the inn. So.
Okay. Again, it is the only 2-story building here in town, but that old lady is still sitting right out front. But aren't you a large lass? What brings you here to Ensburg?
Hey, I'm looking for the Silver Moon Inn. Is this it?
Oh, well, Larry, you've got some good eyes on you. Welcome. We've got some mighty odd travelers coming in these days, but we're so glad to have you.
Oh, good. I'm not late. Okay.
Oh, please come on in. Come on in. My grandson owns the establishment, and he's a wonderful young boy.
Hey, thank you. And she'll head right on inside.
All right. As soon as that door opens, it is warmth and food and merriment welcoming as you enter.
As soon as she's inside, she'll take off her cloak. She's got you can see that she's got really light, almost white hair pulled back into like a really like tight, practical ponytail. Got like a couple small scars on her face, like one on her temple. That's probably the most visible. And she's got like a big sword and a shield strapped to her back. But she'll go up to the bar and kind of wave a little nervously, but like wave to the bartender. She's probably standing not quite at her full height, kind of slouching a little bit to make herself look smaller.
Okay. The bartender comes out, and he's got a tray in his hand, and he sees you, and he kind of looks surprised to see another new face, but he goes, one moment, and he steps from around the bar to go and deliver one of everything for our wonderful one patron, and goes to seat, because I'm not saying names until you guys say names. Goes to set the stew down in front of other, and then as he's walking back, he goes, welcome to the Silver Moon. What can I do for you?
Hi. I'm supposed to be meeting somebody. I'm not exactly sure who I'm looking for. But I was, what was it? And she'll like start like rooting around like in her pockets for something.
Okay.
And it's like she's start like kind of muttering to herself. It's like something about aid and a friend and hold on. And she pulls out a letter and like was kind of like reading through it and kind of like tracing the lines like with her finger as she goes through and like I'm supposed to say that aid can be found in a good friend?
I'm sure it could.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm supposed to find somebody else then. That's okay. That stew smells really good.
Excuse me. Did you just say aid could be found in a good friend? And you have a letter like this.
Yeah.
And Quinn will pull out a similar letter. Like
yeah. Oh, did you get one too?
I did. The name's Quinn. It's what's Gwendolyn Elizabeth Rathmore. Rathmore. But people just call me Quinn.
Hi, Quinn. I'm Kira.
Very nice to meet you. I don't.
And she'll shake her hand, probably like squeeze your hand like a little bit too tight, like not quite realizing. Oh, sorry.
You are you're quite strong. Yeah, I don't know who we're supposed to meet, because I assume.
I have no idea.
Yeah. How did you get the letter?
Well, that's a bit of a long story. There was an old lady, and there was a weird vision, and there was some consecrated and desecrated land, and there was a lot.
There was an old lady.
Uh-huh.
Could you tell me more about this old lady?
Well, she lived in a hut in the middle of nowhere, and it looked like she just kept onto all of her things for far too long. But she was very powerful magically, and I didn't understand half of what she said, but she gave me this and told me and tried to explain stuff about gods and constellations and things, but she's the one who gave me this. She was blind, but she could, at least her eyes, she looked like she was blind, but she knew where she was going and what was going on around her.
Was her name Rhea?
Yeah.
Interesting.
How do you know her?
Well, I mean, know is a strong word, but I did meet her and she was interested in my skills. Well, she was interested in a lot of different skills from different people, basically wanted to take the best.
That's kind of like what she told me too, actually, now that I think about it. It was a few weeks, it was a while ago.
You said something about visions.
Yeah, but that may have been unrelated. I don't know. I had a few weird dreams.
Did anyone
it
laugh
happens
at you?
sometimes. Well, not for that.
Was there any darkness?
Yeah.
And a voice in the darkness.
How did you know that?
Let's just say that I've experienced something eerily similar.
Huh. Well, maybe we can figure it out together.
I think that's probably for the best, yes. Besides,
And I'll sit down right next to her.
I was gonna say, the whole time you guys are talking, the bartender's just standing there like,
Oh, sorry. Can I just get a bowl of the stew, maybe?
yeah.
It smells really good.
If you want, we have a endless mug. Comes with as much drink as you want, as well as a bed for the night and meals. It's only
Oh,
gold.
okay, yeah. And she'll pull out a gold from her pouch and pass that over.
He will take it, pocket it, and then go and get you a cup. Excuse me. What do you want to drink?
Oh, I don't know.
Wine, ale, beer, fruit juices. Water.
It was fine. Whatever you have.
Sure. He'll go turn, pop the tab, put it down. And you said you wanted the stew?
Yes, please.
It's my specialty. And he goes to the back to get your stew for you. Oh, Amber!
Oh, no. A traveling merchant's cart comes up, and we'll go directly to the inn. And when it stops, the curtain will kind of part, and a human woman with kind of like alabaster skin, but it's been suntanned, like she's been out traveling for a while. She's got her hood up over it because she's got a cropped leather jacket, like flowy white shirt with a tasteful cut V that goes down. Dark leather pants, black cincher. She's got a couple daggers tucked in there. She's got a crossbow on her thigh. And she's got her cloak, or no cloak, sorry. It's the crop jacket. There we go. Crossing crossbow users. And she kind of peeks her head out and turns to the man driving the cart. Like, hey, really appreciate you going out of your way. I know it was a few hours, but, you are a stunning person. And...
Hey, snuffing.
All right, you are just, the world could just use more people like you. Keep at it.
Oh, stop, miss. You're too kind.
And she's gonna pull out 50 silver and pass over. I'm like, I know you said no fee for the ride, but here you go, man.
Well, don't mind if I do. And he's gonna pocket it and says, "Well, you be careful. There's lots of strange goings on around this part of town. Good luck." And
you as well, Michelle. Hop out and head right up to the doorway and nod to the older woman.
Oh, did he have... Excuse me. Did he have anything good in that cart of his?
Nothing really. I think he was supposed to go to the next few towns over. Had a bunch of blankets, some produce. It'll be fine.
Pity. I'm always up for something shiny to fancy the eye.
Yeah.
Oh, do coming out of the reindeer. There's lots of warmth in there, as well as some good food, fine music, and my dear grandson.
Is this your establishment?
Oh, no. It's his. He just lets me stay here rent-free. He's what a kind boy he is.
Oh, that is extremely considerate of him. Is he around tonight?
I do believe so. He doesn't much leave the inn untended. He cares too much about all his patrons for that. He's a good boy. You'll see.
And she will nod to her and, well, don't stay out here too late. And she'll head in.
As you go in, the music is currently in a lull as the small group of musicians are taking a short break, but the place is still just full of smells that are just welcoming, homely, and
Quick scan of the room. Anything looks suspicious? Anyone shady? Anyone that she's come across before?
So far, all you see, well, if you want to roll an investigation check. I gotta remember, I gotta make you guys work for the information. I can't just give it.
Dirty
Work
20.
for it. Okay. From what you can tell, nobody seems to be super, like, suspicious in a way. There's an elven couple. They are now sitting down at a table. The musicians have set their instruments to the side and are heading towards the bar where a human and half-orc are sitting, as well as a dwarf who is still clad in his mail. And then off to the side is another hooded. Are you still hooded?
No, I would at this point probably be like shoveling food in my mouth.
Okay. Very heartily shoveling food into her mouth.
Been a long walk.
She'll take her hood back and kind of shake the rain off. And she's got really short, black curly hair, just a bird's nest of a map. The nape is shaved up. And just gray eyes. And she kind of just does a quick glance and then heads up to the bartender. And will lean on the side like, hey, is the owner around?
He doesn't normally come down till later. He's dealing with all the finances of the building right now. If you want, I could go get him for you if you're in dire need.
If you don't mind, that'd be great.
Sure thing. Who can I say is calling for him?
A friend. A good friend.
Oh, right. And he kind of like looks at you and then looks at the other two, and then it's like, this is weird. And then he's gonna step out from around the bar and head towards a back door, and he disappears behind that.
So, where did you say you were from?
Hold on, pull the map myself and remind myself.
Curtain.
Thank you. Halden in Putton. What about you?
I believe from the capital.
Right.
Rhea? No, that's the name of the old lady, right?
Reyna is the old lady.
Reyna
is the old lady.
We got there.
Rhea is the capital. Yes.
You got the hard
We said
notes
the right
there.
name of the conversation. We got this.
Yeah.
Yes. From Rhea, originally, but I've most recently I have this, I swear. Where's the school?
It's in Eurasia. It's in Eurasia.
It's in Eurasia. What?
It was very late when I
God damn it.
that name, and it's stuck.
But that's the name. But most recently, I was wrapping up studies at Morningshire in Eurasia.
Oh wow! I've never traveled that far. What are you studying?
Well, I originally went to school for divination, but well, I mean, there's no easy way to put this, but being the best, I caught the attention of the Archsage and have been studying magical manipulation of time, if you will.
What? Magic can do that?
Yes. I mean,
Wow.
very powerful
Maybe I should have paid
magic.
attention in those lessons.
Oh, did you also study magic?
Only a little. I know a little healing magic, but that's pretty much it.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
I've never really had a gift for that sort of thing.
But I mean, if you could do it, then, I mean, if it gets the job done, I mean, yes, there are proper ways,
Yeah.
proper pronunciation, proper hand
I mean,
techniques, and
I don't know. I kind of, it's sort of, some of it is kind of just, I freak out. Well, I mean, I figured it out when I got hurt in a training match, and I just kind of was like, like I got hit in my shoulder, and I went like that, and then it got better.
I
But
do suppose that is one way to do it.
you would notice that she does have a symbol hanging around her neck of a gauntlet with an eye on the back of the hand, and which would be like it looks like an amulet or a holy symbol, that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it works. I know a little bit.
Would I recognize that symbol?
Probably.
In my studies?
I'd say, yeah, your studies would definitely include the gods and goddesses of the world. So you would recognize it as Torm.
Quim, out of curiosity, is there anything in front of you on the table where you're sitting?
I assume yes, there would be the stew and a side of cornbread, some fruit juice, and a glass of wine.
Your silverware just falls off the table, like kind of like there's a jump skid.
Hmm. That is interesting. Here's my...
Erica looks up from where she started shoveling food into her mouth, like, huh?
Yeah, it appears my silverware just jumped off the counter here.
Oh, you didn't knock it over?
No, I did not, in fact, knock it over.
Oh. Okay. Because you're eating her food.
Quinn is watching the staircase, by the way.
Okay.
But
the
definitely paying for
bartender-
the conversation next door.
You mean
bartender
River?
has-
Because I'm Quinn.
So which one did I say?
You said Quinn. is
Oh,
watching
right. River's watching. Sorry.
That's still my favorite moment.
I almost kept it and ran with it. Yeah.
It would have been so funny. I get Jess's character info, Quinn Rathmore, beautiful. And then I get Amber's
Perfect.
character info, Quinn, and I was like, oh. It was great. Anyway, as you are talking, from the far end of the bar, the bartender has not yet returned. However, a young, sort of mousy-looking barmaid has stepped out to fill for him while he is away getting the owner. You hear, "Oi, what's this?" I'm so sorry, sir. What can I do for you? Is everything all right? No, everything is not all right. Not to me liking, you vile harpy. You started skipping on me grog. And the dwarf kind of slams his mug down, spilling whatever he was drinking over. The barmaid kind of jumps back in surprise. Hey. What?
She didn't do anything to you.
You stay out of this, you. She's been skipping on my ale since I sat down here.
That doesn't mean you get to yell at her. You apologize right now.
When he slammed his mug down, it then also fully falls off into his lap and spills completely.
What the? Oh, and the barmaid's like, hold on, let me get you some.
Erin kind of stands up and just stands up real tall, to her full height, just glaring at the dwarven man.
He turns to look at you. He has bright red hair that is woven into a braid down his back with his beard shorn on the sides and braided down at the front. He has tattoos down his face and cross. And he kind of looks at you and he goes, "Yeah, what are you going to do about it?" And he does not seem to be intimidated by you.
You don't want to ask that question.
Miss, I've taken hardier opponents than you.
And I don't want to make a mess of this nice woman's bar.
And he looks at the barmaid, and she's just like,
Why don't you go instead of causing any more trouble?
It's
Or at least calm down and leave her alone.
River's gonna grab the barmaid and bring her back. Just, hey, back here with me.
okay. And the dwarf is like, is that a challenge?
Her just shrugs.
Nissa sort of has walked up behind them slowly.
Okay.
And just
Go ahead.
puts her hand on his shoulder and is like, I suggest you don't make it a challenge.
Who are you? What do you want?
A
Look,
quiet night.
I've a paying customer, and they've been skipping me on my grog. I've not had enough, and they've started serving me this
I think
watered
you
down
have.
shite. Absolutely not.
I think they may have had a good reason for that.
As you're talking, you hear, is everything all right here? And coming down from the stairs is a tall man dressed in a very fine, well-tailored suit. White in color with blue accents and blue embroidery along the lapel and down the sleeves. He stands at about 6'2". His hair is shorn on the sides, and it seems to be waxed over the top of his head with bright, piercing blue eyes. Pardon, is everything all right down here? And he's...
No, this man was being an absolute dick to your barmaid.
Groldris, come on now. Have we done anything to earn this dissatisfaction? And Groldris is like, yeah. She's started watering down me wine. Oh, please. Well, how about this? I will make you my personal drink. Don't you worry. Have a seat. There needs to be no fighting in my bar. Thank you. And he looks to you, Kira and Anissa, and he goes, thank you for intervening. I assume I have you to thank for protecting Mira here.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah. It was the right thing to do.
Then allow me to treat you myself in thanks. And he goes over and he begins to prepare a beverage. And Grelder's kind of like, yeah, fine. That sounds fine. And kind of sits back down and starts mumbling to himself as the owner begins to work deftly behind the bar.
Sit back down after a moment. Kind of shoot like one more glare at the dwarven man and then sit down.
You okay, Mira?
Yes. Thank you. It's only my second night here, and the Baron is so kind to offer me a job fresh out of working on my father's farm. I'm trying to work my way to be able to live in the city, but hopefully I'll get there. Especially if there's nice people like you all around to help out.
Well, welcome to town.
Thank you. She kind of like tucks her hair behind her ears and like scurries off to the back to go continue her work. The bartender comes down. Baron, this is the one who is asking for you. And as the Baron sets down his glass for Graldrus, excuse me, he turns and says, "Oh, yes, of course. You said you were a friend of mine. To what pleasure do I owe this visit, then?"
Pleasure to meet you. Aid can be found in a good friend.
I'm sure it can. Is that important?
Just gonna kind of stop and look. Are you the owner?
I most certainly am. Purchased this bar myself a couple months back.
Who'd you purchase it from?
He's around here somewhere. Has anyone seen Evelton? And then the bartender's like, oh, no, I haven't seen him all night. He's probably down in his rooms. I could go and fetch him for you, but it might be a while. He's a little outside of town.
How loud is this conversation?
He's not trying to hide anything, and if she's still standing by
she
you
never
guys, you can
moved,
all
yeah.
definitely hear this conversation.
You see her, she looks visibly annoyed and is contemplating and is like, if you could fetch them and bring them here, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I will go into that. Though
Much appreciated.
I'll have to fetch it tomorrow. The sun is setting, and I close my bar doors after nightfall. Folks have been going missing recently, so I'm ensuring that none of my patrons here join that list.
Precautions always best. We're outside of town. Like, where's about?
It's a bit of a distance.
I'll kind of like elbow Kira and be like, "Are you listening to this?"
Huh?
Oh dear.
Intelligence of 9, y'all.
There.
Would you say it's an hour walk, half-hour walk, 2 days journey? Where's your gauge?
It's more of a distant, not necessarily distance thing, but difficulty thing. I'd be happy to take you to him tomorrow if you can wait that long.
That sounds...
If you can't, you're welcome to go. I just am not sure if it's going to be an easy trip this late at night, especially with this storm blowing in. Doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon.
I guess I'm here for the evening. Thank you for coming down. Sorry for disturbing your work.
No, it's totally fine. I always enjoy meeting my patrons. Welcome one and all to the Silver Moon. My name, and he kind of stands up straight and gives a flourishing bow. It's Lauren Vondrei, and I am the owner of this establishment. And if there's anything that I could do, I'd be happy to assist in whatever way I can, please.
Pleasure to meet you, Sir Vondrei.
My pleasure. It is truly my pleasure.
And she will look at the bartender, like, any rooms available?
Yeah, sure. If you want, we offer endless mug as well as food for 1 gold. It comes with a bed as well.
She will fish out a gold and hand it over to him. Sounds fantastic.
He'll take it. And what can I get for you? You've got ale, wine, mead, fruit juices, water, the like.
Ale, please.
Milk. Ale. Done. And he's gonna pour you a drink and then look to see if anybody else needs drink. He's kind of like doing that, like, anybody else? Anybody else? Okay.
Put it in the corner.
He goes to refill your drink, Anissa, and if you wouldn't mind, could I get a Constitution saving throw, please?
No, why? Why would you do this to me?
Because it's very hearty ale.
Well, I
She's
mean,
a very haughty lass.
it's a 14.
14? Okay. It's a really, really good ale. And he pours you another one, hands it down. Anybody else? I'm heading to the back to go grab myself a bite.
No, thank you. This wine is going right to my head.
It tends to do that if you've not had some good food to go with it. Do you need any more of my stew?
I mean, it's very good and very filling, though. So I'm trying to pace myself.
Right, just remember you've got endless. And he goes to step to the back to take his own little break.
Quinn will kind of hop down from her stool and just walk on the other side of River and pull out the note, the letter that she has, and just kind of slide it over to her.
Oh, where are you going? Oh. Comes over with her drink.
River's gonna like kind of glance down at it because she's like leaning against the bar and just kind of watching the bar, and then we'll kind of pull out her own and flap it down.
The name is Quinn. How do you do?
River.
This is Kira. She also has a similar letter, so I assume we are supposed to work together.
I'll sort of frisbee mine down the bar so it slides across.
Look at you!
Yeah,
What's your
it's
name?
like,
The company. Have you guys worked together before, or is this all
Oh no!
fantastic? Fantastic. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And if you guys know anything about this dude that we're meeting?
Nothing at all.
No, not a clue, no.
And how'd you
You?
get your invitation? Lola lady, slightly creepy, looked like she had a seeing problem, probably should have gotten a dog.
Yeah!
yeah, guess. She seemed nice.
Shady work is afoot.
There was a wizard competition. It was
Oh.
dueling, yes.
Wizard competition.
Yes.
Were you like trying to make plants grow quicker, or
I didn't say
setting
a
things-
druid competition, I said a wizard competition.
so trying to set things on fire quicker?
I mean, trying to take out an opponent magically.
With fire?
I mean, that is a good way to take out an opponent.
Just a fighting match, but with magic instead of swords.
Yes.
And so how'd you take out your opponent? How'd you win? Because I'm assuming you won.
I did.
As we'd be talking to your opponent.
Indeed. Then you'd be dealing with a necromancer instead of me, so you're welcome.
Okay, yeah. You're not a necromancer, are you?
No, I'm not a No.
Okay.
I
Well, I mean, I didn't think you
I s-
were. You said that you were doing stuff with time and other sort of magic like that anyways, but still.
Yes. No, I
That
started
kind of
to.
stuff is...
Revert them back to
Not
being
great.
a baby.
No.
Is that how time magic works?
I mean, theoretically, yes, it could work that way. But that would be very powerful magic. And then she, like, there's a moment where she, like, goes to put her hand on her satchel and then realizes she's in the middle of a conversation and that she probably shouldn't pull out a book at this very moment. And so she just and then, yeah.
No, I want to make fun of you. Do it. So she's gonna like lean down to the formerly hooded, no longer hooded figure. And so, how did you get your letter? Did you also defeat an opponent and prevent a would-be necromancer partner from joining us?
Which one of us is that? There were
You.
multiple hoods. Oh, me? Oh.
Yeah.
No, I
Whoever
just-
responds first.
yeah, no, I just did a job and there was maybe a cursed necklace. I should probably get that looked at. Yeah, but there was an old lady, but she seemed fine. Oh, it's Anissa, by the way.
I'm Quinn. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Kira.
Nice to meet you all as well, I guess, since we're going to be working together. And I just like put out a hand to shake everyone's hand. I would definitely try and squeeze yours too hard, Nat.
The competition.
Yeah, definitely.
Who is stronger?
Right.
Big chest, go!
Women.
The band has started playing again while you were all chatting. Mira is now behind the bar. Periodically is glancing out the window before she goes back to serving everyone. What are you guys doing? Just hanging out for the night before turning in, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish my drink and like kind of slam it down on the bar and be like, I'm gonna take some air, and I would get up and walk out for a half a second.
As you're walking out, Mira. Wait. If you go out, just don't stay out too long. Once we lock our doors, we don't let anyone back in. Just so you're aware, we're going to be locking them shortly.
Is that what
Fair.
you're watching the windows for?
Yes. I'm checking the time. the Baron doesn't like leaving things to chance and doesn't want any one of his patrons to be taken. So,
Yeah, could you tell me more about
yeah.
that? What's happening?
Is anyone? Yeah, what's going on?
she kind of glances around the bar, looking at everyone. It's not really polite conversation for a tavern. I mean, but you are all very nice. So, throughout the nights for the past few months, people have been going missing every night. Just one or two taken, and then sometimes it's a whole household just up and leaves in the middle of the night. And a few times it's been people who've been staying here that have gone out after dark, and then they just don't come back. And it's been a little unnerving, to say the least. But the Lauren assures us that everything is well in hand so long as we stay indoors at night. It'll be fine.
Any more gone missing since people started staying indoors, or?
Not from here, but, better safe than sorry, right?
Is there anything I would have heard about that? Or anything that sounds familiar?
A history check.
Eh.
Work for it.
13.
There's been faint whispers, but it was more like a, did you hear about that? No, that can't be true, kind of a thing.
Bar gossip.
Yeah.
And would it have been specifically for this town or other towns?
A few towns.
Okay. No, you're not the first town I've heard this happening to. It sounds like a couple places. They're
Really?
setting in a curfew.
Well, I guess she kind of is like playing with her apron a little nervously. I don't know whether to be relieved or alarmed at that information. But do please be careful. You all look very capable, but I would hate if anything happened to you while you were here with us.
Is the little lady out front going to come in anytime soon, or is she going to stay out there?
Yeah, she comes in. She enjoys storms, so she likes watching them roll through, and she enjoys greeting people as they come in.
Excellent
Very
greeter.
nice.
She's quite lovely. The Baron was so nice for agreeing to look after her. She's kind of there all the time, in a good way, even though she's no relation to anyone. She's just very kind.
She's not the owner's mother.
No, but she likes to tell people she is. She, if you stay around long enough, she'll tell everyone that she's your mother, too.
Oh, well. The memory does slip as you grow older. Nothing too suspicious there.
Looking after people, even if they aren't technically related, it's not a bad thing.
Has Miles given you your room keys yet? He mentioned that you all had the endless mug.
No, but we'll take that whenever you're ready to pass those out.
Yes, of course. And she's gonna dart over to a board that has like little hooks with keys on it, and she kind of like comes over and places keys in front of you. So those rooms are going to be up the stairs, down the hall, to the left. Okay?
Thank you.
I should probably start wrapping things up around here, as we're going to have to lock the doors very soon. So, thank you.
You need any help?
Oh, no, it's fine. I don't want them to think I can't do my job, so I appreciate the offer.
Of course.
Thank you so much, though. And she goes and she starts doing some cleanings of the bar and letting the band know that they're good for the night. Sort of trying to usher everyone up to their rooms.
People going missing in the night. What do you think? Murderer, foul beast, wandering tribe?
Could also be a fae.
Oh, something darker. I don't know. I don't like the sound of it, though.
Or somebody who's starting their own town and just need people.
I mean, maybe? Have you heard of that happening before?
No, but they're not finding the people afterwards or the bodies or whatnot. That means still alive.
And then shouldn't say anything about
Just
there
because
being...
they haven't found the bodies or anything doesn't mean that they're still alive.
Oh no, not necessarily, but
I
it's
suppose that's true.
an effort to take someone away if you're just going to kill them later.
But
Unless it's for some sort of ritual or something that they need people for.
That's true.
and also just
That's of
because
course if it is something like that.
just because you are dead doesn't mean that you can't still move around.
Yeah, that's also very true.
Perhaps your competition has come back to annoy you. Ransacked the town before you got here.
That's doubtful.
I'd make for a good story, though. Just kind of like lean, and she has like her hand over her mug as she's holding it and takes a drink out of it and then puts it back, but it's always in her hand.
Did we check on her? Kind of nods, looks towards the door.
And you like, as you say that, like, Quinn has narrowed her eyes at River and is just like, and then like it pulls your question pulls her attention. We probably should, I suppose. I mean,
Just in case.
yeah. Do you want to go, or do you want both of us? Actually, why don't I go with you? Like making eye contact with River, and like we should probably both go and check on her. Yes.
I mean, I would have gone like straight out and just kind of like looked back and forth up the street, and then like looked at the old lady though.
Okay, so outside, she's very much sitting on her little creaking rocking chair, just back and forth. And just goes, I love storms. They're just so refreshing, don't you think?
Truly, seen anything interesting besides the storm past little bit?
No, but it does look like Harol is closing up shop early tonight. He's a feisty one, that Harol. Good boy, good lad.
I mean, storm does make it a bit darker, harder to tell.
Yes, it does, but it's the thunder and lightning that really gets the blood pumping, don't you think?
Absolutely, ma'am, absolutely. Would it mean anything to you at all if I said aid could be found in a good friend, or?
Kind of pauses. I think that little lad was mentioning something about that, but I don't remember where he went.
A little lad.
Oh yes, he's where is he? He was here for a long time.
Good.
And then he left. But I still see him around some. But down. Oh yes, the rain. She's really coming down, isn't she? Kind of turns her attention back to the rain.
I'm sort of giving her like a bemused look. where I want to ask more, but I'm also like, this is a very old person. I don't know if they know what they're talking about.
She's now mumbling to herself about the rain.
Would you like a hand inside, ma'am?
Oh, is it closing time already? Why, yes, thank you, dearie. And she goes and pushes herself up and immediately is just like leaning on you, like full on. Like, yes, help me.
Yes, I just put my arm out and like shuffle slowly inside while old lady talks about whatever.
And she'll talk your ear off about her life and how much she enjoys how well she's treated here. All the good new kids who come and join her here and come for visits and the like.
That's I'm trying to like steer her someplace where I can like set her down and be done with this old lady, but I'm also like,
Yeah.
I overcommitted.
As you walk her in, Kira and Quinn, were you going to help Anissa or are you going to check on Mira?
I assume we were going to check on Anissa.
Oh yeah, going outside to but now she's back
I was
inside.
gonna
So.
say, you guys are about to
Yeah.
walk outside when Anissa comes in with the old lady.
Oh, there you are.
Great teamwork.
She's not actually complimenting.
I recognize that. It just seems. I mean,
It's
why is she being antagonistic? It's been like 5 minutes.
I don't think she likes me.
I don't think she likes me either.
No, I think she's indifferent to you.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little better.
Have you all met before? I'm sure this old lady's still just on my arm, like
Oh,
yammering.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And she's
no.
babbling
never.
away.
No, we've never met any.
Mm-mm.
I've never met any of you until right now.
Me neither.
Then why would she not like you?
I mean,
How loud is this conversation?
I assume it's pretty
How long are
quiet
you
because we're
talking?
talking about you.
yeah,
Okay.
and like I feel like we're at the door, not
Okay.
not
Yeah.
the
Am I
bar.
right here?
When I was 12, I used to run around with this little lad. Continues on talking.
So just no reason. She's just being an ass.
Yes, I think so. I'm fairly certain that she knocked my silverware off the counter.
Oh, was that her?
I
Mhm.
think so.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. It's not the fairest of play, but alright, I just like keep shuffling with this old lady.
As you guys walk in, Lauren comes back down and he goes, I do apologize, all friends, but the time has come for us to close for the evening. We do apologize, but we must be cleaning for the morning. So if you don't mind returning to your rooms at this time, everything should be worked in good order.
Can I get a room ale or two?
Oh, why, yes, of course, of course.
Do you have any kind of like any pastries or anything sweet?
Yes, we have the finest honey cakes this side of the capital. Would you like some for your room?
Yes, would anyone like to split one with me?
Oh, well.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
I will, how about this?
How about enough?
I will bring you a plate of them. I've got some coming out of the oven now. So I will bring them up to your rooms. Mira, did you get the room numbers? She goes, yes, Baron, I did. Right. So I will bring that to your rooms momentarily, if you excuse me. And he goes to do about his ownerly duties of closing up his bar for the night. stepping into the back to retrieve the honey cakes.
I'm just motion to Mira for a key as I collect my room ale.
She goes and she'll actually give you 2 mugs of ale for your room, because once the bar's closed, it's closed. Anybody else want to drink before I close up for the night? No?
Thank you.
Could I get a pitcher of water? That would be nice.
Oh, yes, of course. Would you like it iced? We just got a ice box. It's amazing.
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Oh, okay. And she darts to the back, and she comes back with a pewter pitcher that is has condensation, very heavy on its pewter exterior. It's probably been sitting with this ice for a little while. She was probably, and she sets it down. She goes, "So cold! It's awesome! It's amazing!"
Oh, thank you.
Anyway.
It is very cold. Thank you.
Yes. Did you need anything? And she looks at you, Kira.
Just another ale for the night, thank you.
Oh, of course.
Before I go up.
She'll pour you an ale. All right. Well, I hope to see you all in the morning. Good night.
Is there any reason you wouldn't see us in the morning? Or is
Oh,
that
I don't
just
always-
a turn of phrase?
I don't always work the morning shift. It all depends on whether or not Miles wants to wake up in the morning.
Who's Miles?
He was the bartender before me. Big burly man. He's really nice. Makes the best beef to stew.
Okay. And I won't
Oh,
ask my
is-
next question because that's meta. Because I was not outside.
Okay. She will go and begin cleaning for the evening. The band packs up their instruments and they start heading up the stairs to their own rooms. The elven couple had retired long ago. The dwarf is kind of like grumbly, muttering to himself, but he's gonna start marching up to his own room.
Okay.
Narrow my eyes at him as he goes by.
Same.
He mutters very pointedly, not trying to hide his disdain for you all as he walks by.
Can he make a strength saving throw?
Absolutely.
What
he can
are
make
you
a strength.
doing?
Not anything you can perceive.
How well does a 7 hold up?
Oh,
that
not
there.
well at
No?
all.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. What happens to this dear dwarf?
He is going to get shoved 5 feet, preferably like he stumbles, so like he would just feel like something hit the back of his leg and kind of take a step, but there's nothing behind him.
Okay. He turns. Oh, who did that? And he turns and glares at all of you. Who did that? I know it was one of you.
Did what?
He pushed me.
We're
We're all
over
the way
here.
over here.
I know it was one of you.
I think you've had enough for tonight. Maybe you should just
You
kinda-
don't get to tell me when I've had enough. Thank you.
Careful with those stairs, sir. Fall like that would hurt.
Couldn't be. You're all too scared of me. I get it. And he turns and he starts walking away. So he heads upstairs. So it is just you 4 down here. Mira, who's cleaning. Lauren, who is locking up. And Miles comes back into the room. And
Well, he seems like an
begins-
antagonistic, sore loser. Didn't even lose anything.
Yeah.
I
I'd
did
like
ask
him.
I did ask the old lady about the little phrase in our letters. Doesn't
Oh.
seem like a reliable witness, but she said it was a little man who used to be around here.
I wonder if that's that Evelton fellow who sold the bar.
Yeah.
Oh.
The old owner.
Well, I mean, if he's a little fellow, then it might track.
When did you guys all get your letters?
Cool.
How recently?
DM, how recently?
Yeah.
Varying times. So, River, you probably received yours little over a month ago. Quinn, you probably received yours 3-ish weeks ago. Anissa, probably 2 weeks ago. And then Kira, about maybe a week and a half ago.
Do you all share that information, or are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a week and a half ago, something like that, I think.
I got mine a month ago, and they told us to come find this
Oh.
owner, but this owner has had this place for a few months. Sounds like we're already working with faulty information.
Oh.
News travels pretty slow. That could just be a month off. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how things go out here.
Alternatively, if you see time a little different, then it would make perfect sense.
You are
take your
going
word
to
for that
be
one.
a ball of fun, and River's going to kind of like kick herself off, put the rest of her drink on the counter, and like, well, see you all in the morning, and start
night.
to head up.
Did I say anything that was that offensive?
I think she might just be awful.
Maybe
Not
she
at the
is
room
that
yet.
I love it.
When you
Start
say
bad gossiping when you can't see me anymore. Just gonna
You can't see us, you can't hear us.
when you say see time different,
Orcs.
like you mean not in a line?
Well, okay, so
Like a big ball.
it's a wibbly wobbly, timey wimey
Stuff.
stuff. No, I mean, in theory, yes, time is linear. However, depending on different planes of existence, time travels either faster or slower. And if you are a being that maybe goes from plane to plane, time isn't as straightforward as it would seem to everyone else.
All right, that would make sense from a being from another plane perspective for sure. Just take a big swig of beer.
Kira's fiddling with with something, like fiddling with like the buckle on her gauntlet or something like that. She is not comprehending. She's just
At this time, Quinn would probably pull out her book and pull out a notebook and a little bit of a quill and just start jotting a couple of things down, close her book really fast, and then put it back into her satchel.
Just real quick. River, did you finish your drink?
No, she probably would drink about 2/3 of it and then left it and walked away.
Okay. So you both take drinks.
yeah. Kira's gonna finish the first drink that she was given and then take the fresh one that she got and just kind of get up from wherever she was sitting and be like, I think I'm gonna head on up to bed, but see you in the morning.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And she'll go on upstairs.
I'll sort of shrug with my 2 mugs and start heading that way as well.
Oh wait, but don't forget the honey cakes are coming. Just
Oh,
Oh, right.
but they did say they'd bring
need
it to
help?
our room, so
Oh,
Quinn will grab the pitcher, the
Ice.
all of the
cold pitcher.
condensation on
That.
that pewter pitcher.
Yep. She's very pleased with it.
So I do think we could go to our rooms. They are supposed to bring it to us. Yes.
I'd sort of half bow, half nod, and like motion with my one cup for like Quinn to lead the way now that I assume Kira's like on the stairs.
Yeah, she's already heading up, yeah.
Yeah, Quinn will lead the way then.
All right. So you all head up the stairs. It is a very straight hallway. It kind of goes down a little bit and then it goes the long way. Mira has placed all of your rooms beside one another, assuming you are all together in some way. After a few minutes, there's a knock on your door, each in turn, and a plate of 3 honey cakes is presented to each of you in turn. And Lauren says, I do apologize for that disturbance earlier. Please don't take it to heart. And I wish you all the best for your evening. And then he goes down to the next room, the next room, next room. And then he kind of pauses outside of River's room and knocks. It's like, would you like honey cakes? Did you want honey cakes?
Oh, sure. Thank you. And then just kind of like fish out some silver.
Nope. It's on the house after that disturbance that Groldris brought you all into. I'm terribly sorry for that. He's normally a better patron. And he will present her the honey cakes.
I look at very confused, but like nod with the cakes. I'm like, you were wasted in the hospitality service, sir.
Oh, no, too kind. And he will turn and begin to and leave you all for your evening. So you're all in your rooms. Are you doing anything before heading to bed for the night? Yes, Kira.
Just on a hunch, I would like to use a divine sense before I go to bed, just in case.
Okay, and what are you searching for? Just general checking to see if there's like undead in the area.
I can sense celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. So I mean, but I can also, but more importantly, I can sense anything that is consecrated or desecrated.
Okay.
Also, that's like so. Yeah.
Nothing really seems to go off. There's no undead, fiends, celestial. The ground isn't consecrated, but it's not desecrated.
Okay.
So it's
all right.
Yeah.
I'll take that and go to sleep after with at least a little bit comforted by that. But
yes. Quinn, did you finished your glass of wine, correct?
Yes, I did.
Wonderful. Kira, did you finished one and are drinking the other one? Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Anissa, you had a total of 4, correct?
I mean, I still have them. I'm going to like sit in my room and eat these honey cakes and take out a whetstone and like sharpen my blades and
wonderful.
Slowly drink and like hum and eat honey cake.
Perfect. For all my friends who finished their beverages, could I, get a Constitution saving throw, please?
Shit.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure you're not drunk or anything.
Yes.
Okay, I got a happy yes and I got a oh no.
I got a 25.
Anissa, you're like, wow, this is watered down. What is this? I should be feeling great right now.
And I got a 5.
Kira, wow.
With a natural 1.
You've got that
so we started off this campaign really well.
You got that warmth, kind of like, that was. Ooh, maybe eat something before bed, kind of a... Has Kira ever been intoxicated before?
It has, but not very many times.
Okay, so you're
she's
not...
She definitely, like she is visibly a young woman. Like she's pretty young.
So you're not drunk, but you're definitely in that like, oh, okay. I should eat something or...
I feel invincible.
Yeah, basically.
I can fight
Quinn,
anything.
What did you get?
17.
17? Okay, you feel fine. So as you all wind down for the evening, head to bed, and everything. What's everyone's passive real quick?
Oh boy.
Passive what?
11.
Perception.
11.
12.
11.
Hey!
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Look at us, so perceptive.
Anissa,
Oh no.
could you just roll me a perception check for me real quick?
Oh no.
Not important, nothing to worry about. It's fine.
Just a 10. Still
A 10? Perfect. You're sleeping so soundly.
I'm getting robbed.
You're having a great night right now. Like, oh my gosh, this is like the most comfortable bed. Quinn, could you go ahead and roll me a perception check?
Sure.
Wonderful, thank you. Appreciate it greatly.
16.
16? Okay. Kira and River, can I have you also roll me perception checks real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys.
Woohoo! 1.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh.
Let me see if I add anything to that. 3.
You are this bed. It's been a long time since you slept in the bed, and like that merchant's cart was pretty comfortable, but like this is a bed. It is down. You've got that comfortable feather filled blanket, feather filled pillow. This is luxury. And Kira, what'd you get?
I got a 15.
Wonderful. So my two who got over 14, you are awoken in the middle of the night to a loud thump.
What was that? I will cast message. I
Okay.
believe. Let me. Yeah. I'll cast message and. Kira, did you hear that? And it's inside your head. It's like you can respond to this.
Wait?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that. How are you in my head?
It's magic. It's a simple cantrip.
Okay. We should go check out what that was. Yeah. Okay. Guys, head of bed goes out. And...
As you are starting to rouse yourselves up from sleep, you can hear a muffled cry come from another room across the hall from you. And as you open the door, as the door opens, the cry is louder, and it's coming from one of the, not the room directly across from you, but closer towards the stairs.
I'm fucking running to see what's up. Kira grabbed her sword.
Quinn
Okay.
On her way out.
grabs her bag and
Okay. You open the door, and the one of the elven man who's part of the couple is on his knees crying, and they're gonna kill her. They're gonna kill her. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. She's
running up to him. What happened? What happened? What was that noise?
They came in the night. I don't know. And my wife, she's gone. I don't know where she went. They took her. I just saw.
Which way did they go?
Out there. I didn't see, but please, I got it.
Yeah.
Running in the direction you pointed.
Knocking. I'll hit Anissa's door on the way out. But.
If I pass River's door, I'll hit hers also.
There's no response from Anissa's door or River's door.
Going out.
Running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm running.
Okay. You head down the stairs, and there doesn't appear to be anything down here. I will get to Anissa and River in just a minute.
Is the door open at all? Is the door locked still?
You can go check.
I would like to go check.
You go over to the door and looking at it, it does appear to still be locked. You jiggle the handle, it is locked.
I want to like look around, look up. Like, is there anything out of the ordinary?
Roll investigation. I need to remember to stop giving you information, make you work for it. But I just want to tell you everything.
I mean, I have a high passive investigation, if that makes you feel better.
It does make me feel a little better.
But how about a 19?
I'll just tell Quinn things. 19, okay. From when you came in here before, it's darker. There doesn't seem to be much different. Wait, was that a click? It's very faint, but it sounds like the click of something closing coming from back behind the bar.
I'll real quick cast Dancing Light and send one of the orbs back towards the bar where I thought I heard the clicking, and just like scatter the other 3 about so that we have more light.
Okay, so this place lights up, and it is pretty much the exact same as when you left it. All the chairs have been realigned to their tables. The bar has been wiped clean and is pretty dry now. But there is the faintest muffled sound coming from the kitchen.
Is that behind
the
door
door
where we heard the click?
Yes, and the door does seem to be swaying slightly.
Kira, I heard a click. Something's muffled in the kitchen.
Go for it.
All right. You throw open. Oh, go ahead.
As she passes, just on a hunch, I would like to kind of just touch her as she's passing by, and I'll cast the Gift of Alacrity.
Okay.
Which
that
would just give you a D8 on initiative rolls.
Okay.
Oh.
How long does that last?
Oh shit. It's only a minute.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Count that on the other side of the door.
It's 8 hours.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It just takes me a minute to cast it. Just
okay.
touch.
So you grab her, you hold her for a minute, cast it, let her go. Kira, you burst into the kitchens, and before you is a wooden table that has been scrubbed clean. Against the far wall is a wash basin with a stack of clean plates. The hearth fire on the left wall has begun to grow cold, with the embers have begun to dull and grow cold. And there on the right wall is storage boxes, food, a few wine barrels, but there doesn't appear to be anything out of that you wouldn't expect to be in a kitchen.
Are there any other doors leading out?
There's one door heading out the back, like towards the back where they would like throw away scraps, but there doesn't appear to be any other doors.
Then she's gonna check that back door.
It is locked.
Does it lock from the inside?
Yes.
Are there any sorts of is there any sort of storage room in here? Something like any pantry or root cellar or something like that?
There doesn't appear to be any openings for one.
What about?
There's nothing in here.
What about the floor?
I'll check the floor, see if there's any sort of hidden
Go ahead and roll me an
trap doors or something.
check.
Oh, I'm not good at that.
Well, while she's investigating, I'm gonna take if we have it, if it doesn't work out, cool. I'm gonna take 10 minutes and try to ritually cast Detect Magic.
Okay. While you're doing that, there doesn't seem to be anything.
I have a -1 to investigation. It's fine. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. It's normal. I don't know. There's nothing there.
Detect Magic will tell you any school of magic that's been used, correct?
Correct.
As as you stand there, how would Quinn cast this? Like, what does her casting look like?
So
since it's the ritual,
she would she would probably sit down and then would pull out a piece of chalk and start drawing around her, like a circle around her, in very much in a way that symbolizes a clock.
Okay.
And then as she's drawing the final connection of the circle then lights up blue, and her eyes end up glowing the exact same blue just for a second, and then it flashes, and she just, like, from the cross-legged seated position, she just immediately stands up and just starts looking around, and there's this subtle, like, almost static in her hair that starts lifting.
As soon as the spell takes effect, the place ignites with light of magic, namely enchantment magic, and the enchantment magic weighs heavily over the wine barrels, the alcohol barrels. And
There's something wrong with the wine barrels. This whole place is lighting up with magic.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't.
Like, what kind of magic? Like, I'll be, like, poisoned somehow? I might be able to fix that. But I can fix it tomorrow. If it's that.
It's enchanted. I assume. I mean, maybe, but why would
they do something like that?
I'm gonna open one of the kegs.
Okay. You open it, and it is about half full. But it just looks, you get the very fresh, fruity aroma of a semi-sweet red wine. But it doesn't appear to be anything, but your detect magic within the kegs, within the keg, the wine sort of ripples softly with a faint glow of magic.
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
I think whoever is kidnapping people is, or whatever, is using the wine to do so. Is there anything aside from the barrels? Is there anything like a doorway or revealing an exit out of here?
Not that you can see. However, as you glance around, there's a faint ball of light coming from beneath the boxes.
Okay. Quinn will start trying to move the boxes.
Okay.
How heavy are they?
They're fairly heavy. They are like, one has got flour, one has got vegetables.
I need you to help.
Yes, I'm coming. Here. And she moves it. She'll move all the boxes out of the way.
There's something glowing down there.
Glowing? There's no light?
There's a ball of light. I'm assuming it's magic.
As you move those boxes, there is indeed a trapdoor. And that light is coming from beneath the trapdoor. Before we continue with you guys, River and Anissa, you're very comfortable in your beds. Like, wow, these are really, really wait, why is it cold? I didn't. What? I was supposed to be in my blanket. Why is it cold? And now it's hard surface. What? And as you start to come to, you are not in your rooms. You are laying on a stone floor with some hay around, and it does not smell great down here. It smells as if it hasn't been washed in weeks. And you feel a small hand on your shoulders. And, excuse me, are you okay? And as you look up, there's a small gnome child with her hair in long braids, wearing tattered, ripped clothing. Her cheeks are sunken and malnourished, and she looks at you with wide brown eyes in between both of you. Did they hurt you? And I think that's a good spot to take a break. What do you guys think? I don't know. I thought that was a good spot to take a break. It's 9:30, right? That's typical break time, right?
Good job.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Okay.
I've been waiting for that.
Sons of bitches!
What do we want to do as the code thing?
I don't know.
Lord.
What?
What?
Because you're investigating the floors. Floored.
Floored.
Ah.
That's good.
Okay. That looks wrong.
I was going to say don't drink the wine. But
Oh,
That's
that's
a bit
better.
so
Was it specifically the wine?
no.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
I'm
all the
trying here.
barrels.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Lord.
All right. If you would like a chance to win
The beautiful dice bag.
this,
Oh, good. Tell me to
not
vote.
this one. This one's mine, but one that looks just like it. It has this cool little like wizardy charm.
Ooh.
Wizardy charm.
So
Wizardy
pretty.
charm
Ooh,
on
it's a
it.
hand. That's
Yeah. Yeah. So
Vic
if
Crafts,
you
you
two,
are.
yeah, this is the.
Gotta applaud that.
I'm just gonna refer to this as the Quinn bag. So if you would
Yeah,
like your own Quinn bag,
Rebranded.
yes, enter Floored into the chat. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Of course, of course.
we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Fancy
Hello.
meeting you here.
Wow, on a
Days
Friday
like that.
night? Wow.
What?
Wild.
Crazy.
What? That's where my chapstick was. In my pocket. Who knew? The whole time. And then everyone's like, yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's fine.
okay, if you would like a chance to win not this dice bag, but another dice bag that looks just like this, that is super dope, made by Vic Crafts, who was in the chat earlier, type floored, all lowercase, for a chance to win a dice bag. It's real dope, not gonna lie. So yeah, gonna roll that in like, I don't know, like 3, 2, 1, da boom. Space whiskey.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hello.
Congrats.
New friend.
Hello.
New friend.
New friends.
Space
New
whiskey.
friend.
If you were in the chat, yo, hey, hi, I'm gonna
Oh,
DM
shit.
you, and like, I'm gonna need your address. I'm not a creeper on the internet or anything. I mean, I
She's
kind of
good.
am a
She'll
creeper
kill ya.
on the internet, but like,
But in the best way. It's fine.
Yes.
But you get free stuff, so you know
It's
the
true.
risk versus rewards.
Just get into her van. It's fine.
it's
You
just
got a
fine.
really cool dice bag. I mean,
She has
how can you
candy. She has
pass that
puppies.
up?
It'll
I
be
got,
fine.
I got a quarter in my pocket. Say, I got a quarter. You want to fish it out?
Oh my god.
Don't
Okay, the
forget
risk just went up a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like I'm never coming back.
Don't forget to
Fine.
stretch out those cream hamstrings.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh,
All
boise.
I'm here for this. This is why I wanted to be here.
Welcome.
And we're glad to have you.
This is indeed how you die.
But what a way to go.
But in the best possible way.
So
Get
fun.
free D&D loot. It's, you know,
Yeah,
Win-win.
like can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Congrats. Princess Ladybro, back to you.
Okay, well, welcome back. When we last left our intrepid heroes, 2 of them found a trap door down into some dark unknown, and other 2 found themselves waking up in not in their bedrooms. So we're going to join them again. So you guys are face to face with a small child who looks very dirty, hair matted, but cheeks sunken, malnourished. And she looks between the 2 of you and sort of like shies away.
I imagine that River is still like kind of sprawled on the ground and it's just like this shit gets old after a while and kind of like slowly heaves herself up and like looks at the child. And like looking at her, like, does she seem genuine? Does she seem like a genuine dirty child, or does it look like a child who could be like
Check for me. Insight the child.
I would like to incite the child, but
I would.
INCITE.
That's an 11.
Right.
11. She's young. There is absolute terror in her face. She probably could lie, but this does not seem like something she would put herself through.
And she, like, it actually really looks like she's dirty. It doesn't look like she just slapped
Yeah.
some dirt on them. Okay.
Yeah, like it is like caked into her hair, like she slept in it. Her clothes are covered in dirt and grime. There's sweat stains that look like they've been there for weeks. Did you come from the surface?
Yes, where?
Is my mommy there?
Who is your mother? And
Her name is Lana, and she plays the flute really, really good.
Performer, perhaps?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She said she would take me on her trip, and then I got taken, and then they said that they would kill me if she didn't perform every night.
What'd she look like?
Well, she's tall. Well, she's tall for a gnome. She's got dark gray hair and really, really pretty brown eyes like mine. And she has a freckle on her cheek right here. And she likes to wear really pretty frilly dresses. She says when she twirls, when she plays, she gets more money.
What does she play?
What, the flute. We just want to.
No, sorry. I was trying to.
Was there a gnome in the band that was performing?
Yes.
Who's forcing her to perform?
Owner guy. Seemed really nice, and then he came at night, and his goons, he took me, and they kept mom away, and now I've been down here, and don't know how long it's been.
I knew he was wasted in hospitality, and just kind of get up to her feet and look around. What are we in?
And what do we have on us?
You are in whatever you were sleeping in.
So we don't have our weapons or anything?
Negative. You look around, and you are in a small, natural looking cave that has been sprinkled with hay. There's a couple benches off to the side, or off to the back of this cell, and as you look around, this little girl and you are not the only ones in here. There's an old man with a bald head. He's kind of got the monk thing going on, but it's like around his head, and he too looks malnourished. And there's a young man, tiefling, with curling ram's horns and short, sort of like, JT3 like 90s haircut going on, and they are all in clothes that look like they haven't been washed or taken off in weeks, and there's another woman laying down not far from where you have woken up, and it is the elven woman that you had seen dancing earlier this evening.
I would kind of like glance at River. Say, well, this looks like some bullshit.
I can agree with you on that front. Does the elven woman look okay? Like, is she sleeping? Is she injured? Is she...
She just seems to be knocked out, like, just passed out. She kind of like snores a little bit.
Okay.
I would bend back down to the girl and be like, does anyone ever come in here for anything?
Yeah, the big scary animal guys come in, and they'll take one of us, and then that person doesn't come back. They take them down there, and she'll kind of like run over to the fence cage, the bars of the cell. That's the word I was looking for. And she'll press herself against it and point down one of the hallways.
And animal people, like not tieflings, not humans, not elves.
No, they have really long faces, kind of like a dog, and they stand like people. But they're longer and bigger and kind of scary.
Would I have any idea what animal she's talking about?
You can roll me a history check.
History checks.
Would that sound familiar to River?
You can also roll a history check.
Ooh, 19.
Okay.
19 as well, but I specifically for in her experiences, possibly something within the last month. Would that seem familiar? To her? Yeah.
Memory. No, it does not sound like that. You've heard tales of these creatures. People have definitely killed them and claimed, like, oh yes, I killed this beast. And you would know them to be a werewolf.
Puppies.
If she's telling the truth.
How often do they grab someone?
Usually one a day.
Did they grab anyone today?
Not yet. Sometimes we can hear cheering and yelling, but then it stops.
River's gonna go and look at the door's entrance. Is there a lock?
There is indeed a lock.
She would like to pull out some of her lockpicking tool.
Absolutely. Go for it.
And attempt to... Oh boy. What would you like me to roll for this if she wants to attempt to unlock this door?
Just roll dexterity and then add your proficiency.
Okay.
Right? That would be
15.
Okay. You manage to get your tools in this lock and kind of takes a minute, but you do hear that satisfying click. And you're able to open the door. And the old man kind of speaks up in a hoarse, please, if you can, take the little one and get out of here.
Why wouldn't we take all of you? Let's just go.
I would just slow you down. I'm far too old.
So looking out the cell, there's the hallway that they pointed that people come from. Is there an opposite direction?
Yeah, if you want, I have a roll 20. I have a map of it. And then I just have to
Get a load of that map.
Oh,
it's a whole continent.
That's the whole continent, but let me move you to... It's going to be a big black block for a minute. But if you zoom out at the bottom, I'm putting some friends in there. I just got to find some good ones to use for you.
Oh, God.
You're going to be that one.
Oh, no.
And I need a fighter child.
A fighter child.
A fighter
A
child.
fighter child.
No. No. Some of these are really good, and then some of them you're like, why? Why? Why is that what you would go for? All right. We're going to go with this one for you because it's cool.
Works for me.
Okay. And Stephanie controls that one. And controls that. Okay. So the door is open, so you guys can get out. Ooh, zoom in, please. You should be able to control your friends.
Am I purple?
You are purple.
When?
So is this old man like small and frail? Like you could just
Yes.
throw him over your shoulder and just take him
Probably.
with you? All right. I mean, he's the only
Well, there's the unconscious woman.
unconscious woman, and him and the little girl are the only ones in there.
There's also a young man.
And a young man.
So, okay. I'm gonna go over to the unconscious lady and give her a few like face slaps. You know, like the
River's
heel
gonna keep
wake
an
up.
eye out and see if anything's coming or going. Just kind of chill over at the bars and
Okay.
watch.
You kind of give the lady a little like, wake up. And she goes, what? Where am I? What's going on?
I would put my hand over her mouth.
And she
Work.
looks at you very, very frightened.
I was in the bar with you earlier. We're captured. We're trying to get out of here. Just shh. I would slowly let go of her mouth and help her to her feet.
Has anyone seen my husband?
He's not down here, so I assume he is uncaptured.
Oh.
I don't know. I just grabbed the old man like a sack of potatoes also.
Okay. He's please just put me down.
Nope, just shush. Just we're going.
Oh, okay.
And would walk through the gate.
Okay. You go through the gate, and nothing seems to happen when you leave the gate.
River will take the small
This path.
girl's hand and motion for the woman and the man to follow with and follow after.
All right.
Yep,
It's
going
a prison
the
break.
Yep, opposite direction of where those things
Yeah.
come from.
She gestured off this way is where they go. So you're heading down this way?
Yes, that would be where we are heading.
Okay. You start walking that way, and as you look down the hallway, those are very large webs.
River will come up beside her and it's like, should we
mean-
try and bring them down? They don't look unavoidable if we're trying to get out of here.
I mean,
I can set them off, but something's probably going to come down.
well, that's the issue. I got nothing to fight with. But if we go the other way, we're definitely
cheering.
going to run into something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you got something, might as well. Just, yep, let's go.
Step back, and she will, using her mage hand, do what we did in the other dungeon and cause a ruckus. See, like, at least clear them out of the way, like, sweep around and
Yeah,
then see if
like,
anything gets drawn
You
in.
throw
Yeah.
your mage hand through these spider webs, and they
And
like,
Anissa, the only thing you really see is you just see the spider webs moving. You cannot see the mage hand, and you can't see her casting magic. It just, stuff starts moving.
you do hear a faint
Yep, something's coming.
Mm.
You're welcome for that.
Back
and-
into the cage, or we're
Not
gonna try and
back.
get past him?
I mean, we have organized creatures one way, and we have, I'm guessing, some spiders this way. Do the elf and the young man look in any way, shape, or form able to do anything? Like just glancing at them.
None of them are wearing any form of armor or have any weapons.
Is there anything like
on
left by
them.
a guard, like set a sword upside the door or something, or like somebody had been sitting in this area? Okay.
Not by the cell.
cross on the wall. There's not a rack of hanging weapons conveniently.
Negative.
I think we just gotta pick away and go for it. I am inclined to choose spiders over the other way.
Let me go see if there's anything the other way. I can sneak in there and see if I can get you a sword or something, or see if there's a obvious door.
Don't go down there. That's where they go and they don't come back.
Is she lying?
You can roll an insight check on her.
I don't trust this girl. I don't trust children. 21.
I think that's fair. You really shouldn't trust children. They're liars.
Most of the time, yes. No, she is absolutely terrified. She clings to your arm a little tighter and does appear to be fairly frightened.
I feel like I would sort of like shrug my shoulder that the old man is on, and then also like look at the younger man and be like, does anything come from the other way? Is there any information you two have?
Which way do they bring people when they come down?
The tiefling man, yeah, they that's the way they bring people in.
They bring them in from the spider webs?
Yes.
No, from the
Spider webs it is, then. Unless you want me to go try and find you a weapon or something.
I mean, there's occasionally the sounds of battle that could be heard coming down that way, but I don't
from the spider direction.
know that's from the other way.
Wait, is everything coming from the other way, or they bring people in from?
So he gestures towards where the spiderwebs, that's where you all came in from. And he
That's our
points the
exit.
other way, and that's where they all go.
All right, spider webs that just hike the old man up and take a step forward.
All right.
Whoever keeps trying to clear the spider webs and try and get them so we have a clear place to walk that anyone won't step on the webs.
All right. As you move, a spiderweb, a boom, drops, and a very large spider is looking at you.
Joy.
Rather irritatedly, as a spider can. But we're going to jump back to our other two. So you have just uncovered this stairwell down into the dark, and I'm assuming you head down there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Wonderful. You guys also get a fun map.
Yay,
as
fun map.
you come down from the stairs, you are greeted with a natural cave, network of tunnels, if you will. And it seems to be fairly open. Nothing too... there is a faint light coming from the far wall. But other than that, it doesn't seem to...
Check.
And you
Is
guys
there
should be
any
able to
noise?
move your friends. Not that you can openly hear.
Okay. Kind of turn to Quinn, be like, which way do we go?
I'm not sure, but bonus action, I would extend, because it looks like we've got a path straight ahead, something that goes to the left and something to the right. So I would keep one of the orbs with me, and
Okay.
in the three directions I would send out
Okay.
the dancing lights.
Hell yeah.
If you don't know, I very much enjoy making maps.
We do love a good map.
They're fun.
Ew.
Mm, this guy's facing the wrong way. He's got to face that way.
Definitely start, like, making my way and down the tunnel to
Downtown?
see what there
Okay.
is. Basically, walking fast.
So you enter into a very large, spacious cavern. There are two carved statues in the walls. One has a very obvious appearance. It looks like it was meant to look like the Baron, and the other is another figure, tall, proud, with long hair and a warrior's uniform with a shield and sword held proudly in his hands.
Kind of lean down to Quinn, be like, can you still sense all that magic stuff? Because those look weird. Pointing at the statues.
Yes, it hasn't been 10 minutes yet. So it's probably be nearing the end of it after moving all the stuff to get down here. But before it goes out, there is magic coming from both of those
And
statues.
what kind?
You God, hold on. Let me do a quick Google.
Yeah, it's fine. I understand.
Ye old Google save.
Ye old, where you get to travel to ye old Google. It is. I know how it works. What kind of magic is it? Transmutation magic is what it is.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fun.
Come on. There we go. Okay.
What do you think?
I think that if we get near it, it's probably going to turn into something else. They're definitely
Okay.
magical, and it is transmutation.
Okay. Then which way do we go if we can't get close? I mean, there's that pop up there to kind of point to, in general, that way direction. To the one straight ahead.
Yes, and there's also looks like maybe door or something
It's a door.
over there.
Yes.
And there's
Okay.
possibility that just loops around. Yeah.
I mean, I could test it to see what
was
happens
like,
if I get close, but I don't think. But the way you're talking about it, sounds like maybe that's not a good idea.
Right.
As she starts to take a step
Yeah,
forward.
I'm gonna stand back here if you you want to test that out.
Okay. Go a little bit forward, stand right in the middle, and she's gonna take a copper piece and throw it at that one,
Okay.
the one above on the map.
No.
So that's the one that looks like the guy with the sword and shield.
Okay.
And it doesn't seem to react until it does. And you hear the distinct of stone as it begins to move, roll its neck, and take a step forward towards you. And you guys can go ahead and roll initiative.
You get to add a
Letting grab my
D8.
sword.
And you do get to add a
You
D8.
get to add a D8 to that.
All right. While you guys do
Hell
that,
yeah. Ooh.
Anissa and River, what are your initiatives?
Oh, we were rolling initiative?
Yeah, you got a spider.
I mean, it could be a friendly spider.
You're right. It could be a friendly
It's-
spider, but it looks
but yeah.
a little irritated because
I got a really great 4.
Okay, wonderful. I love that.
16.
Okay,
22.
beautiful. And that is Kira. And River? A 4 as well. Okay. Who has a better dex between you and Anissa?
I have 16.
What is it? 15.
Oh
Okay.
no.
All right. So. Okay, and then the other one will be. Okay. So if I jump back to the other map, will that be okay?
Oh God, no.
Potentially.
Okay. Jumping back to the other map. Oh, it'd help if I also went with it. All right. So I just need just a regular beiter. Let me zoom in a second. Okay, so he is sitting here. The webs are not there, but he's sitting there not looking too pleased. So first up is River. What are you doing?
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh
did
boy.
not roll the best, but it did roll better than Anissa.
Hurtful.
Wait, we both rolled 4 though. Anissa and River both rolled 4.
Yes. Okay, then I lied. It's the spider. I can math. What is math? What is this?
Not to now murder us.
You're good. You're good. So it is going to go ahead and very irritatedly climb over to you. Give it a little, doing its little spidery thing. Yep. And it's going to come over and it is going to attack the person who is leading the way, which in this it looks like it's Anissa. Is Anissa leading the way?
I was a step ahead, confidently with my old man sack of potatoes.
And River,
Alright.
had she would have done it 60 foot, so I don't know where the spider pounced, but Mage Hand was going as far as it could.
Okay. So it came from back over here. So it is going to go ahead and take a little bitey bite at you, Anissa. Does a 17 hit?
It does not.
Without your armor?
I would have slept in my armor. I would
Okay.
have been that paranoid of a person, but I would not have
Okay.
my sword,
I'll accept it. So it does not hit. It goes to bite you, and you put up your arm, and it's just gnashing at your arm. So now it is River's turn.
Okay, seeing that. Oh boy, she doesn't have her crossbow, so.
Do something.
I'm not built for dungeon crawls. Okay, she's gonna. Oh, yeah, she's gonna help you first before she helps herself. She will send off Ray of Frost.
Okay.
At this. And
Hit.
you just see her kind of swear, really annoyed, drop the little girl's hand, push her behind her, and just kind of claps her hands together, does a quick few motions, and throws not great. Will a 14 hit?
It does hit.
Yay!
It does not have a lot of health.
That is 7 cold damage.
Okay, so you watch as this cold hand comes out and touches the spider, and it just recoils from Anissa in pain, sending out a shriek, very much like another large spider that got stabbed up on top of a mountain after piercing a hobbit. But that's beside the point. And it kind of recoils and skitters back.
Its movement is reduced by 10 feet.
10 feet? Okay.
Yep.
Good to know. And it is looking like a few of its legs are tucked up under it with a icy frost growing on them. Anissa, it is your turn.
All right, so this thing just like ran at me, tried to bite me. My armor's got some like, I don't know, spider spit on it.
Yep, absolutely.
So as a bonus action, with this old man still just over my shoulder, I am
Improvised
just
weapon. Let's not use the old man as an improvised
Too
weapon.
late, it's out there.
I mean, I am just going to literally like bane a little bit, where I'm just casting my giant smite, and I increase to size large, and then I just go and I just punch the spider right in its stupid spider face.
Absolutely. Go ahead, roll to hit.
Okay, all right. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, you absolute piece of shit! It's a 10.
The spider, a little wary of getting hit, kind of like skitters out of the way just in time to avoid your hit. I'm gonna jump maps again, and we are gonna come back to Kira and Quinn, who have just activated this thing. So Kira, you get to go first. What are you doing? This thing has come to life and is going to take a step towards you.
Does it look like it's taking a step towards me to attack me?
Yes. It's raising its sword, like full on ready to...
Does it have a shield?
It does.
Did you say that? Cool. Fantastic, because I didn't grab mine, so I am going to go ahead but I did grab my sword, so I will run up to it, charge up to it, and attack it.
Okay, go ahead, roll to hit.
All right. That's gonna be a 17 to hit with my great sword.
That just hits.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Whooped up. Okay. All right, and then that's gonna be 10 points of damage
Okay.
with that sword.
All right.
Wait, hold on, wait, I forgot about a thing. Great weapon fighting. I can re-roll that too. Damn it, it's still a 2. Okay, it's still a 10.
Oh.
It stands.
Okay.
I remembered it though.
Proud of you.
Yeah, cool. I don't have any bonus actions. That's gonna do it for me.
All right. Quinn, you're up.
I suppose I should move up to it, huh? Yeah, there it is.
The damage that she did is, how's it looking?
It has had some of it chip away. Like, aside from the normal, like, it's stone coming to life, moving chip, there's a very large chunk of its shoulder that is now creviced from her sword. Like, gouged out of it, if you will.
Okay, then in that case, I will send over a ray of frost.
Oh, we love some frosty stone. Frosty stone, frosty spiders. Always good.
Yeah, it will miss.
Okay. It is going to go ahead and take its action, and it is going to bring its sword down on you, Kira.
Huh?
Oh dear. Does it? I'm assuming a 23 hits.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Well, without my armor, that's gonna be more than double my AC. So yeah. So yeah, that hits. It's okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
You're gonna take 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
But that is its turn. So we're gonna go jump back over to our spider friends.
Spider friends.
Spider friends. Do whatever some spider friends do.
All right. It is the spider's turn, and it is gonna go ahead and give you another bite. However, I don't think a 12 is gonna hit.
Nope.
So it's gonna try and gnaw on your arm again. River,
She's gonna do the same thing. So,
Okay.
kind of swearing under her breath and going in go. Oh boy. Will a 13 hit?
It hits. Yes.
So a blue ball goes firing over to it with. Are you a 9 or are you a 6? Hold on.
If it's D8, it's a 6.
Oh, duh. That's right. Yeah, it's a 6. Like, hold on. I can't get higher than 8. I'm looking for it.
Okay. This thing kind of collapses on itself and it shakily stands up on weak legs. It is not looking great at all. Anissa, it is your go.
All right, I am going to be large and just try and just kick it.
Step on it. Step on it. You hear like River like calling you like squish it.
Try it.
Oh no! What? Oh no!
I got a 7.
It again, just kind of like, kind of falls and then gets back up just in time to get out of the way of your fleet.
Oh my god! No, that's
It gets
fine.
knocked down, but it gets up again.
Keep me down.
Go ahead and jump back over to the other one.
God
Mhm.
It's happening in tandem, which is always fun. Kira, you're up.
I'm gonna swing at it again.
Okay.
This time it's gonna be a big old 25 to hit.
Nice.
That might hit just a little bit.
Hell yeah. And ooh, hell yeah. Okay, that time it's gonna be 16 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
I would like to destroy it without breaking the shield, if at all possible.
You want that shield, so you're gonna pretty much slash at it where you had already hit, and the crack resounds in the cavern and goes straight across its chest, and it just collapses apart, leaving in rubble at your feet, dropping the sword and shield.
All right, then I suppose with whatever's left of my turn, I'm gonna scoop up that shield and turn to face the new friend. Start to advance a little bit without getting too close.
Okay.
But just ready,
Okay. Quinn.
holding up that shield.
So I would actually run over to Kira and I was like, you seem to be missing a bit of your protection, and will like put my hand on her shoulder and cast mage armor on her.
Oh.
Because
Ooh,
she is
that-
now
that-
not wearing armor, so
This is true.
So that adds up
What
plus
does that
2,
do?
it's
right?
it's your AC base now becomes 13 plus your dex.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
And that
And what would
lasts
that
for
shield
8 hours.
Do for my AC also over.
Plus
The shield is plus 2 to your AC.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. I can do math. Okay, I got it.
I can sometimes do math. Let me get rid of that guy because he's not there anymore. This guy does not seem to have activated yet, so we'll jump back over to our spider friends.
Not dead yet.
Not
I
dead
feel
yet.
better.
I don't want to go on the cart.
I think I'll go for a walk.
Shut up, you're dead. Oh, right. See you next Tuesday. I love that movie. Okay, sorry. The spider is gonna sort of attempt to skitter back, but it is very hurt And so it is not going to get very far before it is River's turn.
Does it leave? Does it leave her melee?
Oh, it does leave her melee. Anissa, you get to take an opportunity attack.
I'll try to kick it.
Kick it!
Okay, kick it. Kick it.
Nice.
Kick it good.
11.
It just misses.
This old man's really throwing me off is really what it is. Why did I even get these dice out? You can go right back away.
Like it's got a 12 is it armor? It's so close. I'm sorry.
I'll eventually hit something. Don't worry about it.
All right, River.
You're just gonna like mockingly go and punch me, and that's when you're gonna get your crit. That's how
no,
this
that's,
works.
always
that is absolutely how
PvP.
it works for me.
We always crit.
That's
on
our brand.
PvP.
I go with this guy. All right. Same thing. Like kind of swearing to herself. River throws off another frostbolt for 14.
That hits.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so that's 2 cold damage.
Okay, how do you want to do this? It had 1 health left.
Oh.
One could have kicked it to death.
You could have kicked it to death.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be more spiders that you could kick to death.
Could she have timed it so just as she like went to go kick it, she kind of like did a quick little like flung her frostbolt, so it looked like it got kicked and like kind of like bounced and skidded as it went.
Yeah, I'll allow it. So you.
Whether or not she chooses to believe the lie or not.
Anissa goes to kick it right as your cold touch?
Chill touch? No, not chill touch. Frost something. Hold on.
Right,
That one.
Ray of Frost. Right as your Ray of Frost hits it, the spider falls back into skidding into the tunnel before it does that dead spider thing where it curls up on itself and dies.
And she's gonna like just go shh, and then kind of listen to hear if she hears any more skittering coming from the webs.
What's your passive?
Oh, come on. Passive.
It's 11, right?
Yeah. Or investigation or perception.
I guess if you're looking for something or listening for something specific, that would be an investigation.
Oh, okay. That one's 11 then.
Okay. You don't seem to hear any skittering, but there is the sound of the metal links clinking coming from behind you.
We need to move. There's something coming from behind us. And she's gonna like grab the little girl's arm and like mage hand, hopefully clear the rest of the webs and like kind of start going forward.
Okay. So you do manage to clear the rest of the webs, and as you come forward, there's a large metal door blocking your way. And we're gonna jump back over to our other friend. All right. So, Kira, what are you doing? This other statue has not yet started to animate itself.
Kind of look over at Quinn and be like, all right, she's gonna run. She's gonna run at it.
Okay. As soon as you get close, it begins to start moving.
I'm gonna try to take a swing at it before it gets fully animated.
Okay, go ahead. Take a surprise round, both of you.
Ooh.
17 to hit.
Okay, that just hits.
16 points of damage.
Heck yeah. All right. You bring your sword down on this thing and you do that same, you cut that same chunk of stone from its shoulder. Quinn, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna try and Ray of Frost again.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes! Yes.
That'll hit.
We love to see it.
We
As long as
love
it's not
it.
against us.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
First crit.
And I
That was
rolled.
actually funny.
Okay, so I rolled max damage, so that would be 16 points of cold damage.
How do you want to do this?
Ah.
Yeah, so kind of that same, her eyes kind of glow blue for a moment, and the just she extends forward her palm, and this beam of like blue white with like almost like with frost coming off of it slams. It goes outward from her palm and then slams into this statue, and it just like ice splintering outward from where it impacts in its chest, and then it just shatters.
Explodes and shatters and crumbles to the ground before it even had a chance to take a hit, and it is dead. So you guys are still in this cavern. You've got your path down this way here and a door here.
Well, first I'll offer her a high five, like, well done.
Thanks, and you're quite impressive with that sword.
Thanks.
So do you want to explore? I mean, we're already kind of headed one direction. We could continue that way.
May as well. And she'll start down that path, yeah.
No, wait, don't like completely run off.
Huh?
I mean, you know.
Well, come on then.
Well, I mean, you're quite fast and strong, and I'm not.
Well, then stand behind me. Come on, let's go.
Door.
Is it locked?
You go to test the door. It does appear to be locked.
I mean, could I check to see if there's any traps or anything nefarious?
That's probably
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah. Would that be dexterity?
No, to check for traps,
that
there'll be more
be
of a
investigation?
perception or an investigation, whichever you
All right.
prefer.
We'll do an investigation.
Hell
I like
yeah.
it because you're looking for something. You're investigating.
A 14?
This door does not appear to be trapped.
What if you just hit it really hard with your sword?
That I can do. And she'll take like the pommel, like the hilt of her sword, and just go for it.
Okay. It is a door. So go ahead, roll to hit the door.
Okay. Does a 10 hit the door?
A 10 hits the door.
Hell yeah. God damn it. Okay, that's 7 points damage against the door.
Your hilt slams into this door, and the wood splinters, leaving a very nice hilt-sized divot, but it does not break through and knock out the handle.
I'm
but
trying to
it
shoulder
does
the rest
seem
of the way
to-
open.
Roll strength for me.
Alright. Ooh. That's a 21.
You go ahead, slam your shoulder against this, and it opens, revealing what seems to be a living room. And we're going to jump back to the others who are being pursued. So you are standing at this now metal door. What are you doing?
Hearing the noise from behind us and knowing time is limited, River's just gonna not even check it for traps. She's just gonna immediately go and see if it's locked.
It does not seem to be locked.
She's going to stand back a few feet and then use the mage hand to open the door.
Okay, how far back are you standing?
She will go back, and she'll gesture everyone else to go back behind her. She'll go back about 20 feet.
20 feet? Okay.
Fine.
About here.
I guess that's, yeah.
Cool. As soon as that door swings outwards, there is an explosion erupts. It's a contained explosion, but definitely designed to hit whoever was opening the door from the back, which you all avoided very dexterously.
Hey, they heard that. Go, 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 go.
Yeah. Good call on that mage hand, or whatever.
So you come out into a very large open cavern. Looking around, there is a very large vault-looking door. There is a black platform. Here-ish.
Mhm.
There is a small trail of coins heading down to the southern entrance. And there is a very clear, heavily used walkway coming from here.
Take the path most traveled. It means they're coming and going. Let's just get out of here.
All right.
Good enough.
You guys head on up. And come to another fork in the road.
Come on. Which way? Do the footprints split, or are they still kind of...
They split. Some
Oh, come
go...
on.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Some go over here, and some go over there.
Right? No, left. Left.
Sounds good. We go left.
As you start to turn left, you can hear the sound of chatter coming from down this hall.
Mage armor?
And you mage armor yourself as you stumble in, and there are two werewolves having a conversation.
Like in common?
Yeah, in common. They're just sort of chit-chatting, shooting the breeze.
Have they seen us?
Not yet.
Is this the werewolf break room?
Slowly back out of the room?
It's the werewolf break room. Let me check. What is their chaos again? Apparently I closed. Oh no, there it is. I was like, I thought I pulled this one up. Okay. If you want to go ahead and roll a stealth, see if you can.
River's gonna hold up her hand.
Okay.
And yeah, she's gonna... Are they 30 feet away from her?
Yeah, probably.
She'd have to get in range of them in order for her to see them.
Yeah.
They're further than...
Yeah. She'd have to move forward 10 feet. Yeah, before they can call out, she's going to try and close that distance and cast suggestion on both of them.
Okay.
So she will... Let me make sure I get this right. Yep, so step forward as quickly as she can and looking at both of them. It's like, man, you don't get enough credit. You really deserve this break. And you know what? You don't feel like doing anything else but sit here and hang out and just look at that really awesome wall for the next 8 hours. And I need them to make a wisdom saving throw.
Here we go.
And they need to beat a 15. Oh, wait, let me make sure that's right. That seems low. I don't think I'm... Nope, I am. Okay, yeah, 15. Wait, no, that should be 16. Sorry, new thingy. I'm working on it.
If it's a 16, one of them kind of like and turns. The
Nope,
other one,
it's 15.
it is okay. Unfortunately, they both saved. I got
Oh,
16
man.
and an 18.
Are they? Do they still want to, like, take that break though?
They look at you and do growl and take steps towards you, like here and here. And one of them goes in a very gravelly voice, stay there.
Run! And she's gonna bonus action shove the one that stepped forward and take off. Going back to grab the little girl in.
Okay. I'm gonna do a dex save to see if he can catch your arm.
Did they get that close?
He was within 30. I did that 30 feet away.
Oh, 30 feet away?
Yeah, the minute he started moving, she would have shoved him with the mage hand.
Okay.
So if he can make a... Oh God, where is this? Sorry. That's
strength, right?
Yeah.
Of course, he's good at strength, but doesn't roll well on his strength. That's a 9.
Well, he could have been bad at the wisdom save. I would have preferred that.
I mean, he's not... He's average at a wisdom save.
Oh, goody. And yeah.
Okay, so he goes back. You guys can run, but this other guy is starting to chase after you.
Stealth mission over.
Let me reveal the area. And there. And there. Okay. So you charge forward with the woman, the tiefling man, and the small child, with the old man over your shoulder towards a not so safe looking bridge.
Oh boy.
I mean, I would be last across this bridge in the way that I'm like shoving everyone else across, assuming that River went first.
Yeah, I guess River and the little girl goes first.
How are you tackling this bridge here?
I guess.
I mean, it's
think
just
there's
like
anything she can do other than
it's just like
kind of carefully.
running.
Yeah.
Okay. I need a dexterity check to get across this bridge.
Okay. Will a 15 with the little girl?
Yep. Let me... the little girl stumbles and trips, but you do manage to pull her across with your 15. So you guys are waiting on the other side of this bridge. The tiefling man will gesture for the elven woman to go in front, and she does not do so well.
No.
And her foot catches and she stumbles and is her leg shatters through one of the boards, sending shards of wood clattering down to the darkness below, and she is clinging to what little of the bridge she can and begins to cry out in terror. The tiefling man looks back at you and then over at River and is like, what do I do?
Go!
He's gonna go, and he does better than the woman. and does manage to get himself across. So it is just Anissa and the old man, and this werewolf is coming up on behind you.
You get River's gonna throw you a rope and it's gonna try and tie it to either one of the other edges of the bridge that are hopefully more stable, and then hold on to it too.
Okay.
So whether you want to use that yourself or give it to the woman as you're going.
I mean, I feel like I would definitely like run it in a place where she could get it into her hands. Just with the general like thought that this bridge is going to collapse and I need to get across it as quickly as possible. So maybe I grab the back end of the rope.
Okay.
Make sure that she can grab some point of the rope, but then also just sprint across the bridge.
Okay, go ahead and give me a dex.
Come on, dice. That'll be an 8. No, a 9. A 9.
As soon you're still large, right?
It's only a minute, and I kind of assume
it
we've
would
done
have-
more
it-
than a minute of shenanigans.
Yes, it has been more than a minute of shenaniganery, if you will. You go and start to walk across, but you catch a plank and your foot shatters through this wood. You catch yourself, but you are now also perched on this bridge, very much like the woman is. As you are there, the werewolf kind of comes up and he holds out his hands. And it goes, "It's me."
You who with my leg through this bridge?
And you watch as the wolf begins to shift back into its humanoid form, wearing tattered clothing, a young woman with mousy features and short hair. It's me. It's Mira. How did you get down here?
Hell of a break room you have going on.
Yeah. What?
Startle you?
It's very startling. You were just a wolf.
Yes. Most of us who work here at the Silver Moon are. I'm not very clever.
Damn it.
Why do you think we offer a package deal for 1 gold?
So you could eat people?
No, that's absolutely not what we want to do. Well, it's not what we want to do. We're just kind of the hired help.
Well, can you hired help me out of this bridge?
Oh, yes, of course. And she's going to come over and offer you her hand to pull up on from the bridge.
She seems sincere.
Roll an insight check.
Seems like
Oh
some
boy, she's not doing great at this.
shenaniganery.
11.
It's the past
11.
tense.
She seems to be.
Okay.
Honest.
I am still keeping a close eye. Where's the second werewolf?
He's coming up behind her and then notices that Mira is herself and will go ahead and shift back. And it is the big burly bartender.
Well, we did not wake up in our rooms and woke up in a very uncomfortable dungeon.
Ah. Why you told them not to take the new ones? Look, I didn't get around to telling everyone. I'm so sorry. We're not supposed. I mean, you guys were really good, so we weren't gonna take you. But it's the others. They're the outside help. They're the ones who gave us these forms.
Gave them to you or forced them on you?
forced us.
It's a hostile work environment. We need to get OSHA involved. Come on.
We can't leave.
Can you show us the door?
Yeah. If you wait, we have a lift that brings us up because that bridge is falling apart.
You don't say.
Yeah. Otherwise, there's another little network of caves through that tunnel over there where you're at.
I'm just gonna start pulling the rope, and hopefully one of them has it to like.
I mean, I would still have the rope. Like half the party's across, right?
Yes.
Me, the little girl, and the dude. The elf lady's
Yeah.
still hanging off the bridge.
The elf lady's hanging off the bridge, and you have the old man.
I mean, I feel like a walkout would be better than the prescribed werewolf lift.
I'm inclined to believe you.
No, this is probably a lot to ask. But Lauren has other prisoners down here. And one of them's my sister.
Of
Which is why
course it is.
Which is why I do what he says.
Do you know where they're keeping her?
In his, how does he put it? Gladiator Hall.
Is that further down than the original one, or in a separate part of the caverns?
It's back there behind the big vault door.
Does this part seem truthful? Is her sister taken?
If you're still going off your previous insight check of 11, yes,
All right, yeah.
It does seem to be telling the truth.
This is absolutely heartbreaking. I absolutely believe her.
But we're also not going to be able to, as though I'm like close enough to her to whisper, we're not going to be able to do anything in a gladiator pit without
No, we need
weapons.
And get these people out of here.
That would also be good. Yeah, we're gonna just, I'm like tugging on the rope that is in this elven woman's hands, like lift your ass out of this bridge, ma'am.
Okay.
We're gonna go this way, I think, and we'll be back for your sister for sure.
You, good luck. And her and Miles kind of turn back around to go back on their in their little break room.
Is there anything else we should know about the tunnels if we come back? Which path do we take? Any guards? Anything gonna eat us?
Lauren, chambers are there, and the previous owner is imprisoned there.
Oh, that's...
But if you stick to straight with like a left or a right, just like orients herself. When you come out, you're gonna go straight, and then you're gonna go right, and then you should just have to follow that path, and it'll take you to the tavern.
And if we come back, how do we get to your sister? Go back to the big metal doors?
Yeah, if you want, there's a lift. It's a little easier than traveling the whole cavern.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to make sure that when you turn the handle, you also have the lever, because otherwise it'll just plummet to the ground. How we lost Fred and Jim.
Fred and Jim. R.I.P. Is this elven woman been crawling out of the bridge?
Yes.
Okay.
She is like hands and feet like crawling herself across the bridge while you're all conversing with Mira and Miles.
Do either of them have weapons on them?
They do not appear to.
Since you're both wolves, either of you have like a dagger I can borrow?
No, but there's an armory.
Like here, nearby?
Well, it's back past the prison cells. Lauren likes to put the people he collects into these battles with his champion or whatever, and he makes them fight. And whoever wins leaves and doesn't come back.
What kind of champion? Human? Giant werewolf? Giant werewolf?
No, he's half elven. Pale skin, with longer blonde hair. He came here right when Lauren did, and here's how Lauren was able to muscle his way through and take over without too much of a hassle.
Take over what?
The inn.
Oh, so we took the inn.
Yes.
Was the previous owner also a werewolf?
No, but he gave me and Miles here jobs. But some of his staff were.
Okay. Where's the lift?
When you go down, when you come up from the tunnel, don't turn right. You're gonna go straight. That'll take you to the lift.
Right.
Well, sounds good. I'm gonna, with this rope taut and this elven lady hopefully out of the bridge, start just backing across it quickly.
All right. Go ahead, roll. No, you're good. I'll let you do it.
Thank God.
I'll let you do it. And we're gonna jump over to the other two real quick. So you guys are on the other side of the bridge now, ready to go. And our friends over here have busted your way into what appears to be a living room.
What do we see?
There's a couch that is very plush and looks rather comfortable. Bookshelf, and that is not the one. I wanted to reveal areas. Roll 20. Reveal. To the side, as you enter, this place does appear to be very well lit. There's this chamber that would be to your left as you enter, as well as what appears to be a kitchen, living, dining area to the right.
What's on the bookshelf?
Different books. There's one that's they're mostly fiction books, with a few like how to run a bar for dummies, how to play liar's dice. There's a couple hand-bound journals, but that's it.
Quinn will grab the hand-bound journals.
Okay.
And we'll follow behind Kira, but kind of flipping through the journals as walking.
Okay. What languages does Quinn know?
That's a great question. Which I find where on?
It should be
the extra
under
proficiencies.
Yeah.
Thank you. There we go. Common, Draconic, and Elvish.
Okay. This appears to be in Draconic.
Ooh.
And it looks to be a recounting of a battle. And the pages are old and weathered, but it appears to be a lieutenant's recounting of the goings-ons of this battle as he witnessed them, talking about how they charged the lines and both sides fought intensely, but they came out on top, leaving no one behind, and how leaving no one behind made him feel sick. And it goes on, and there's multiple entries of this lieutenant as he discusses the mental toll that this brutal battle had taken on him. And then it ends with about a third of the journal unwritten.
Does the battle sound familiar?
Roll a history check for me.
$17.
Okay. There have been many battles in the history that you would have studied at Morinshire, and the total brutality of this particular battle doesn't seem to ring any bells.
I will take the journal and put it in my satchel and continue on.
Okay. So as you guys enter here, you can hear the coming from the room ahead of you.
Gonna peek inside. Try to do so quietly.
There is a large, there's a mass on this bed that is under the covers and breathing softly. There's a dresser to the left of the bed, and as you peek in, there's a desk to the right.
And I look over to Quinn and just kind of like nod towards the room, but also do a shushing motion.
I will quietly try to go over to the desk.
Go ahead. Tell me that there's stealth check.
Right.
Gonna try to follow. I don't have disadvantage.
Nope, because you're not wearing armor.
Rolled an 8.
Okay.
And I got an 11.
Okay.
Ooh.
You both creep into this room, trying to be as quiet as you possibly can. Your feet gently taking each step, and you hear, "Lauren, is that you? Dear Lauren? Lauren?"
Is that the old woman?
Certainly sounds like her.
Kira's just nodding. Not like she's not good at whispering, she just nods.
Lauren, I hope you don't mind I took your bed. It's just so much more comfortable than my own. What do we do?
I really want to see what's in that desk. I'm gonna keep going.
Kira's just standing there like,
You can take her, it's fine.
just watching, standing as still as she possibly can.
Lauren, and she goes and pushes herself up and stands. Who are you? What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. And you watch as her body begins to shift as she changes into a werewolf right before you. Would you like to roll initiative again, or keep your same numbers from before?
I'm on keep my same number from before.
Yeah, same. I like
Alright.
that number.
All right, let me go ahead and roll for the old lady. All right, old lady werewolf.
But she was nice.
werewolf.
As it's a
She
wolf
is
in the
nice.
bed.
You
And
woke
it
her
was
from
a
sleep.
grandmother.
That was Grandma. What big eyes you have.
What big teeth you have.
Before you stands this werewolf that is large and menacing, its fur grayed with age, hunched over, its claws jagged, and it glares at you. And with a growl, it's going to go ahead and try and attack. But Kira, you get to go first.
I'm going to move so that I am between Quinn and this new danger.
Okay.
And
Let
I'm
me go ahead
just
and add a werewolf.
oh
for
yeah,
ya.
yeah. And I'm gonna ready my sword. But God damn it, I think she's gonna wait to actually hit until old lady werewolf attacks her.
Okay,
Old lady
Quinn, what are you doing?
Kind of like looking and seeing that Kira's not doing anything. I'll be like,
I'm like standing in between, but yes.
yeah, I'll be like, oh,
She was nice.
oh, okay, well, then I'll take the opportunity. What's in the desk?
Roll an investigation check for me.
Here to give the nerd chances to nerd out over whatever the hell she can find.
Oh no.
It's like a 7. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh no.
Well, on top of the desk, paper is strewn across of it. It has 2 drawers. One is unlocked and opens easily. It is filled with fine parchment, fresh quills, a couple jars of ink. The second one also opens, but within it is a small lockbox that is ornate with designs on it. The papers, one of them says, I'm sending you a gift. Make sure he's taken care of. Another says, our plans seem to be progressing well. Keep sending the fodder. We need more. Good job taking on the werewolves. Their strength will be a great asset to our cause. Perhaps we can add more to their ranks and create an army to be feared by all enemies. There's an older letter that seems ripped and torn from constant use, and a dirty map of the area, and a circle over this over where Ensberg is, with the lines with the words "open here" in a quick hand. And then on the ripped letter it says, we need it to be opened before our plans can be realized. Make sure it happens. Signed, D.
Quinn is just low-key just shoving it all into her satchel.
Okay.
Including, like, if there's some nice parchment that hasn't been
Yes.
used, definitely
Absolutely.
grabbing that,
There's a
too.
stack of nice parchment.
Yeah,
Fresh
hell
quills, a few
Yeah,
inks.
yeah. Just going for it. And the lockbox, if... just-
Okay. I will, go for it. You can take that lockbox.
Hell yeah, wizard shit.
You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Oh no.
All right.
Fine
so
parchment, you say?
it is now her turn, and she kind of stalks over to you and just growls angrily and is like more... She doesn't seem to attack, but she definitely seems irritated that you have woken her from her slumber. And she kind of just looms there for a moment. But but seeing Quinn rifle through Lauren's desk, she is going to go ahead and try to knock you aside, Kira, so that she can get at Quinn and stop her from.
Oh, nuh-uh.
Her
Nuh-uh.
stuff.
Nope.
So she's gonna make that strength to push you aside. It's okay. Don't even. She's still very sleepy, and she just kind of like fumbles against you. She rolled a 1, not 1. So there's that.
Well, I would like to try to, since I was holding an attack from my last turn, in case she tried to come at me, I would like to try to knock her out with the hilt of my sword.
Go ahead, roll the hit.
Okay. Ooh. That's 14.
Hit?
Okay. Non-lethal damage is what I'm aiming for. And that is gonna be 11 points of damage.
You bring your sword down on her, the hilt of your sword down on her, and she just crumbles to the floor, unconscious. As you hit.
Oh, I feel bad.
I don't know that I would feel too bad. I think they are kidnapping people from kind of what I gathered in these notes.
Oh, we should go.
Yes.
We should go. It's kind of okay. Who needs to be quiet now? Let's run. Go.
Okay. So you guys are leaving?
We have that door up ahead, and then I don't know. There's something.
Yeah. I think back the way we came. Yes.
Yes. I think that would be for the best.
You're the smart one. Which way?
I feel like this area is probably a dead end. Maybe these doors up ahead.
Okay. Are they locked?
They are locked, but they are locked from the outside.
Oh, from our side?
Yes.
Oh, gonna unlock it and go on through.
How are you unlocking it? Are you gonna pick
I thought you said that the locking mechanism was on our side.
It's a padlock.
Oh, then I'm gonna hit it with my sword.
Okay. Roll to hit.
That's a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. It's a lock.
And 13 points damage.
Yeah, you break the lock, and from inside you hear, "Ooh!"
Hello?
And the lock opens.
Go through.
You head on in, and you appear to be in what seems to be another room. And you hear, "Oh, please don't hurt me! Please don't hurt me! Please don't hurt me! I've done everything you've asked. I've stayed down here. I've been quiet.
Who's that?
Who's that? Who is that? Are you in? Do you work for Lauren? Do you work for the Baron?
No. Who are you?
My name's Evelton.
Oh, you're the previous owner.
Yes.
Aid, friend. What did it say?
Yes.
Hang on.
What was it?
I thought he was just messing with me.
Aid can be found in a good friend?
Yes. There was a man months back, before Lauren and his vagabonds came and turned my beautiful silver moon into the disgusting pit that it is now. Hold on. And he goes over to his desk and rifles through it and pulls out a letter that is sealed crisp in very nice fine parchment, and is sealed with a purple silver stamp.
Does it look
And-
familiar?
Yeah, it does. It does look familiar, and he hands it out to you. I didn't think that this would ever come to anything, but he paid me 100 gold to ensure that whoever came to me and said the phrase, "Aid can be found in a friend," would receive this letter.
I'll let Quinn take it if she goes for it.
Oh yes, would definitely take it.
Mhm.
Should we wait for the others though, or just?
I mean, probably, yeah. We should get out of here, though.
Yes. There is
Do
a
you want to come
moment
with us?
where like Quinn hesitates, and you can tell she wants to open the letter, and then she just puts it into her satchel.
Okay.
I'll turn to him, and the question was
I-
directed at him, yeah.
I want my tavern back, but I can't have my tavern back so long as Lauren still is alive. So, and he rifles through his little side desk drawer, and he pulls out a small dagger. He goes, "Now I'm willing to help you kill him. Don't worry, this is strong against his brutes."
I've never killed
It's
someone.
silver.
Well, it's the first time for everything. We should probably get out of here, though, before we run into any more trouble, at least for now. And maybe we should find the others?
Yes.
Other-
Should
Oh, there were a few more who also got letters from whoever gave you that.
Oh,
so
I see.
Since this is your tavern, can you help us get out, like navigate here?
Yeah, these tunnels have been here for a while. I let the werewolves come down here, but then Lauren made them turn some of his brutes, and they've been running the place since. But yeah, yes, I can bring you around. Where are you trying to get to?
I mean,
Well, I mean,
we don't exactly know where the others are.
no.
But they were asleep before, so probably guess back up to the inn?
Yeah, I suppose so.
So-
They weren't in
Yeah.
the.
Did
yeah.
they drink any of the alcohol?
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
did we.
Did anyone have more than 2 cups?
Oh.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Yeah, Anissa did.
They're probably down in his pit.
Oh no.
And he says that with
His what?
his pit. His little game. Disgusting, but he's into the place.
Well,
We used to
that's-
be reputable and a safe haven for all werewolves just seeking this safety.
Oh, that's why the tavern name.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
okay.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, well then, I guess,
the
how do we
pit.
get down there? Yeah.
If that.
It is this way, and he will start leading you towards it. But we're gonna jump back to the other 2. So you guys are
Oh,
standing
God.
on the other side of that bridge, with the little girl, the old man, the elf woman, and the tiefling. What you doing? And Mira and Miles are on the other side of the bridge.
I'm going forward because there was like a tunnel in front of us.
Yes. All right, you go through the tunnel. It is a long, dark tunnel, and that winds its way slightly upwards in a spiral.
I think
And-
you're on the hidden
Yep,
or the other one.
Yep. Un momento, por favor. You guys, and as you crest the top of the hill, you are and on this map now.
Oh.
You made it. So it's up in the top right corner of the map. I changed your person.
All right, Mira said take a right and then follow the path to the tavern. So
that's what we do. Let's start walking forward. Still, sack of potatoes, man, over my shoulder.
And he's very much like, no, please don't trouble yourself with me. I'm really too much of trouble.
It's sorry. We're already here. Just shush.
would be more work to put you back.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You're right. I'm sorry. And the little girl kind of is like super excited. Like she's like, we're getting out of here. Let me go ahead and.
Oh God.
Open up the map. So you go down a ways and you come to a fork in the road, path going right and a path going left.
So right?
Yeah. Mira said right. Straight right and follow the path to the tavern.
All right. So you turn right and you come to another fork. But as you're looking, one of them ends in a very clear cavern. So
not that way.
So you continue down the path. Are you peeking into the cavern?
I mean, no. Like if it looks like just a dead-end cavern and the other one looks like a hallway, I would definitely go hallway.
All right, so you guys continue in the hallway, and as you round a corner, you can hear voices on the other side. And they're voices you recognize, and one you don't.
So, it's a pit, you say?
It's a gladiator pit sort of nonsense. It's just...
I heard rumors of, like, a Viking-type person that really enjoys... these kind of pits.
Yes,
it's unfortunate
mythical.
Yes.
Mythical.
I think I've heard those stories, yeah.
Yeah.
Truly a gift.
A great warrior called, I think her name was Scotty.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I've heard those legends. Truly a great warrior, humble, and just the most friendly of fighters.
Always introducing herself. Yes.
Striding into this room. My fire's not that good.
Wow, you're truly incredible. And who are you?
Oh!
Who are you? Wait.
My name is...
Why are you carrying that man?
We got him out of a cage.
And who...
Oh, hey, you found one too. Good job.
Yeah.
We found more though, so.
Does that mean you win?
River's gonna like hold up her fist, like.
The little girl's like, oh, okay.
The old lady's a werewolf. I also found all of this, and like show the notes.
Yay!
Yay! Notes. But we found this dude and the dancing elves from one of the dancing elves from earlier.
Okay? Is he okay?
Oh, he realized you were gone. He was very upset. He'll be very happy to see you.
Oh, wonderful. We're just married.
This is
Congratulations.
an unfortunate honeymoon.
Tell me.
Yeah.
We were on our way to the tropical northern isles of Neria, and
I do hear they're wonderful this time of year.
They're truly a marvelous destination. They have this bathhouse that's just absolutely
Baby, go.
Yes, perhaps we could
sorry.
tell us about this on the way out.
Right. And Evelyn kind of like leads you out and up into the tavern where you had been before. He opens the door out into the main quarters, and I think we will end there for tonight. I think it's nice. You got to deal with the grandma werewolf.
Yeah,
Grandma werewolf.
I was like,
My mortal enemy.
Grandma wolf.
yeah, that was fun. It was good.
Woo!
Oh.
How-
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's first episode of Darkness Rising. Woo! It'll air
Yo,
every
Rex in the chat.
other Friday.
Hey,
Rex! We wish you were here.
Gonna find some werewolves with us.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll get Jade here. It'll be great. I can't wait for
Extra
her.
werewolves.
All the werewolves. We need all of them. Don't worry, there's more. Let's go ahead to do a round of shout-outs, right? That's what goes next.
That's what we do.
Okay, and the thing, I think it's Ember. You go first.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, Amber. Yeah, Amber, go first. Top row by
In the
yourself.
line, you're at the top row.
I shall rule the top line with supreme. Hi, I'm Amber, Bedonia Talic, Bedonia Cosplay. Thank you so much for coming. I play Scotty on Mondays in our Laurelwind, and every other week I'm also in the Cowboy campaign where I play Willow, and I'm here every other Friday playing River, who's just an absolute delight and just super excited to be here. So,
I
hey,
love her.
thanks for coming.
I love her so
I
much.
love her.
She's great.
Okay, Tef, you're next.
That's me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I am Kyla Cosplay on the social medias. I, like Amber, just live here on the internet
And we're happy to have you.
for your entertainment. Thank you.
Jess.
Hello, I am Dr. Psychowl. You can find me everywhere as Dr. Psychowl, except for on Twitter, where I'm Dr. Psychowl TV because I missed it by one day, and yes, I am still bitter about that. You can find me here on every Monday, as the DM for our Laurelwind campaign. I also play Claire every other Thursday on our Cowboy campaign, and I am Quinn, the delightful wizard in this campaign. So yeah, plus you can find me doing things. I've got some pictures that I need to take of some daggers so that I can post them on the internet because they're all iridescent and pretty and whatnot. But yeah, that's it.
Love it. Natalie.
Hello, I'm Natalie, Shield Maiden, or Shield Maiden Cosplay, across all platforms. That's Shield with 2 eyes. I am here on this channel a lot, just like the other folks who have spoken so far. Yeah.
Times. And I am Sarah, or Princess Lady Bro, on all of the things. I don't do much outside of watch these lovely folks play their wonderful D&D games and hype people up in the chat. But yeah, I'm your DM tonight. I did the things and had the cliffhangers and kidnapped the players, and it was really fun. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we will be back again, not next Friday, but the following Friday for episode 2 of Darkness Rising. Thank you so much.
So we are going to raid our very own Elegant Feather Duster, who is doing some art. So let's go.
Let's all go watch Dusty stream.
Let's go watch Dusty stream. I don't know how much longer he'll be on, but that's where we're going. So we love you all. And we will see you Monday and then Thursday for Cowboys. So
yes,
we love you. Bye.